Hello, everybody, and welcome to Swim or Sink 88. My name is Gregory, and I'm joined today by three awesome letters, DRF. DRF, how you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. It has been quite some time since I have been able to commentate a swim or six. I'm so excited to be here. And it looks like we're already getting geared up for our first set of the night between NKT Definitivo and Axolt. And we were just talking about this before the set, but these two teams actually squared up last week. NKT winning that 2-0 in the second round of Hammerhead.
It's a little bit of a grudge match already. It can be a little scary when not too much time has passed, but if they were close enough games, I'm sure Axel's probably like, man, I'd love to just get another shot at him, and that's what they're getting right away here.
Oh, absolutely. And it seems like that these two teams, just from a little bit of scraping, have been playing in a variety of South American, Latin American tournaments together. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a little bit of a somewhat built up rivalry here in Splatoon 3 between these two. So this will certainly be an absolute banger of a match to start out Swim or Sink tonight.
Yeah, excited to get underway here. So right off the bat, we're gonna go to Museum d'Alfonsino. You familiar with what any of these players are gonna maybe bring out as far as weapons on this map?
Oh man, not particularly. It has been some time since I have seen Axolt and NKT. Definitely a little bit of a newer team, at least in my eyes. So, with Splatoon's Museum, this is definitely. I mean, as we've seen so far in Splatoon 3 in general, this is really a Chargers paradise to start out our new game here. So if either team does have some Chargers to work with, to definitely anticipate some of those coming out, some great perches to work with on Museum d'Alfonsino that can really give you a lot of coverage over the map to try to open things up for your Slayers to step in and for your supports to go and paint that zone.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see what they come out with, and just excited to get this match underway. Like I said, it's always fun when you see two teams from the same region in this kind of tournament that have teams from all over kind of meeting up already and trying to see who's the superior team coming out of their region. It's always nice to kind of start the tournament with a little spice.
Oh yeah, no, you bet. And Axolt, I think, is really ready to try to take a game here and possibly even the set. But of course, got to take it one at a time. First step doing so on Splatzone's Museum. It's going to be a pretty interesting one to have to see here, as you had mentioned. I mean, is there anything, Gregory, that you are anticipating seeing, through either this particular game or the set between these two?
I mean, I agree with you about the whole Charger thing. It's just so many spots for them to just have space where they don't have to worry about getting rushed down too quickly. So, it's always something you have to watch out for. And really, if that's what we see or whatever backline either team chooses, it's going to be really important to see just how they can control this entire map, because it is just such a paradise for them, like you said.
That is certainly true. So it seems like that these players are still trickling into the lobby, but we should be gearing up to go pretty soon.
I believe that we're at 88 swimmer sinks. Like, I remember when it was like, oh, IPL is going to do a weekly tournament Wednesday nights, swimmer sink. Like, and then there was swimmer sink too. And I can't believe we're at 88 now.
88 different sequels. See, and if Low Ink was so good, why isn't there a Low Ink 2?
That is true. No, it's great having just this staple here on Wednesday nights to get everybody, fired up, getting these teams, and now able to get more teams in now with the the format change, able to lift that 32 team cap that's been just there for a while. So looks like tonight we have 49 teams raring to go. So should be a good one.
Yeah, and you mentioned the cap raise being a sort of newer feature here to swim or sink. Definitely, I think that is a change for the better as we have so many new players, new teams trickling in with Splatoon 3. So, why not open up a little bit more space to provide all of these players the opportunity to compete on, just a nice weekday night, right in the middle of the week. So it's always pretty exciting. And obviously with that, there are some adjustments that have to be made looking towards the way that brackets are handled. So, there are a few more first round buys than there were previously. But I'm all for it if it means getting more people in on this weekly tournament.
For sure. Yeah, it's always nice just having a stable because, the weekends can kind of be all over. You have, your bigger, you know, major tournaments happen on the weekends. You have kind of some smaller stuff, but a little flavor for everybody, which is nice. But it's always nice to have just kind of a stable thing right there in the middle you can always count on.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely the case. So it looks like these teams should just about be ready to go. So we should be diving into this game in just a moment. Here we are. Game number 1, Museum de Alfonsino. We have Axolt taking on NKT Definitivo. Guru, what are you looking at? Looking at with these comps?
Oh, I'm seeing triple LDE on the side of Axolt with 2 machines, and then on the side of NKT also triple LDE. Definitely seeing some agreement on the meta at the moment.
Yeah, definitely the case with all that LDE, 2 machines and the chargers leading the way. So definitely a little bit of an established meta that we are seeing so far early in Splatoon 3 and early in this tournament. And that's going to be NKT with first control of this zone, and they are doing an excellent job of just fighting on the plat of Axolt, making this very difficult for them to hammer coming out as well, able to find a second. Can they get the third? They're gonna just miss that one for now, but this pressure is immense, and that's the third pick.
Wow, really nice hammer there by Koz, and now just full control of the plat. Axolt's gonna have to come out of spawn, and I mean, really, the way this zone's ticking down, they really have to recap here on this push, or else this game's going to be over very quickly.
Yeah, and Axolt certainly does not want that to happen here. They have been swept previously by this team, and they would love to get off on the right footing here, able to finally flip that zone. 16 remaining, a very strong push from NKT to start out this one, but Axolt's not going to be able to hold on to this zone for long as it flips back in favor of Axolt, and this at least allows Axolt to be a little bit more competitive here. It seems like they finally found a little bit of footing, able to get a couple of picks. Now the struggle is, can they hold on to it for as long as NKT did?
I like that kind of a safer play by Axolt there. They had man advantage 3-2, but they still didn't hesitate to use their specials to get that Booyah to move the E leader off the zone so they could take it securely. And now it looks like they're just trying to finish out some fights here, but NKT not go down without a fight. They will finally go down here, and it looks like Axolt's going to be able to hold it for just a bit, but the zone's neutralizing as NKT's already coming back. And this is where the machines can really do work, get under these ledges, and really keep that E-leader back if they can, but NKT's on the aggressive now.
NKT doing a perfect job there of pushing back this machine player, able to finally get the pick. Excellent job coordinating a 2v1, but it was actually the E-leader that cleaned that up.
Got it, of course. No place is safe.
Yeah, a little bit of an unexpected one there.
Oh man, now Brian helping NKT work through this penalty right now. And maybe dive on this machines in a bad spot. They're escaping for the moment though, in spite of a crab. And they'll get a trade on it. That's pretty good, but they do still have 2 down, so they were able to get the flip though. Very nice.
Yeah, that junior putting in work, trying to hold on to this zone best they can, utilizing that bubble effectively to protect themselves as they try to take control of this zone for their team as their team continues to take fights. And it looks like Axolt now on the aggressive, able to get 1 pick there, pushing up slowly, trying to make it as difficult as possible for NKT to get back in the zone. But now they're going to get counter pushed here as it's going to be Davor that's backing all the way up to their ledge. And this Trizuka is not going to make it easy, forcing the jump out. Axolt losing the zone now, and NKT looking to respond once again.
Yeah, and This mode especially, Junior can kind of be a hero if they're able to just get that bubble down on one half of the zone while painting the other. There's really not much that NKT can do to contest that. Nabuya's going to also help cap the zone, but we have a Stamp on zone right now. He's running for his life. It looks like he will escape as the Stamp turns his attention over to one of the machines instead. And also getting the E-leader, huge play.
But not able to find the third. If they got the third one there, I think this game would have probably safely been locked out in favor of NKT. But with a minute to go, it's going to be Axolt that gets back control of this zone, struggling to hold on to it. They don't have any penalties, so this is going to be an effort to close this gap marginally, but it's the E-leader that continues to do damage. Anybody that's in the sight of Clanch, I'm gonna go with, is definitely in significant danger, but that's gonna be 3 down on the side of NKT.
Might see a lead change here, if not the entire game. Really not much time for NKT to get back in there. They're going to have to just kind of rush it and see what they can do, but Daver's been so good at just staying alive and keeping pain on the zone right now. They're going to have to take him out if they're going to win this game.
And this is the lead in their favor with 10 seconds to go. Another 3 down, and that should be the game.
Huge comeback here by Axolt. Game 1. Great job by them to not get shaken up. They were on their way to being KO'd within the first 2 minutes, but really good job getting that retake and then just scrapping for the rest of the game, able to get the KO their own. Just fantastic job.
Fantastic job indeed. I'm right there with you. This looked like it was all NKT Definitivo's game in the first minute or two there. I thought absolutely that we were headed straight for a knockout, but Axolt was just what's the word I'm looking for here? They just wouldn't go down easy, and they made it very difficult, and they had to scrape for every single point there in the second half of that match. And it seemed like it was still NKT's to lose, but Axolt with 2 clutch wipeouts at the end to get their first victory here. And this is the footing that Axolt really wanted to get off on, especially considering last week NKT sweeping them in round 2 of that Hammerhead bracket.
And amidst all that chaos, we really saw, we talked about kind of the backlines, and we saw how much pressure NKT's E-leader was putting on the zone and on the members of Axolt for that entire game. Right there, whenever things really flipped Axolt's direction, Axolt's E-leader actually got a nice pick from low ground on NKT's E-leader. They were just kind of in the middle of the zone and popped out from behind the spinner thing and got that kill. And that really also helped it just flip the game for them, just getting that pressure off and helping them just kind of snowball that into a wipe. So, the E-leader on E-leader violence kind of helped turn that game around.
Yeah, I mean, in the E-leader mirror match there, I think we didn't get to see too much of it, but both of those were crucial pieces to their respective teams. Every time we did manage to get their perspective there, they were coming off of a fresh pick. They were getting picks left and right, making it super difficult for the Slayers to get in there and try to pick off each other, because half the time they're going down to the E-leader themselves. So, but Axolt was able to piece that one together there. And now we turn our attention to Tower Control Mincemeat Metalworks. Ooh, this one I feel like is a little bit of a toss-up just in the competitive community early on. It seems like people either are pretty lukewarm about it, or they're like okay with it. Like, I don't see anyone having a very strong reaction to this map mode.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest complaint people have is just you are so vulnerable on Rainmaker and Tower Control getting to that objective in mid. So especially overtime pushes, it can just be such a hassle to even get on tower to get one started, because just walking across those grates leave you so vulnerable. And both teams again bringing out a charger, this time NKT going for the Splat Charger rather than the E-leader, so going to have a bit of a range disadvantage here, but hoping to make up for it with the help of this time bringing out a 52. They really changed up their comp now. 52 in a, is that a regular blaster or a range blaster? Sorry, my eyes are
That looks like the regular blaster, but someone will probably correct us on that if we are wrong. But that is a pretty drastic adjustment there. Meanwhile, Axolt sticking with what worked for them in that previous game, and it is going to be Axolt that does get the first control of the tower. That's going to be 3 down, so the control will not last long.
Blanche getting a little revenge there already, taking out the leader, and now just getting position on tower. And this is a really tough spot Axolt's in right now. They're gonna get the booyah, gonna get a kill with it, so very nice. And again, now tower is not very reachable, so NKT's not gonna be able to continue this push very well. Really clutch kill there to just stall that entire push now, as looks like NKT's gonna get some kills as they come back to mid, so they might get a chance to restart this push right away. And it looks like it is regular blaster. They do have the bubble ready. Gonna pop it now rather than on tower just to try to stay alive here. Get rid of all these just pesky machines always shooting from below them here.
The bubble is going to try to help them out to try to clean up this tower, but the ink vac is going to provide a bit of protection, but the booyah bomb cannot get sucked up by the ink vac there, and that's going to be a wipeout. Axolt back in control here. This is a low scoring game, 2 minutes in, and we are at 90 to 80 remaining respectively between Axolt and NKT. It's not going to take much for Axolt to get the lead here, but that E-leader is going to be able to help him out, getting a nice pick there. Can they get the tap shots? Yes, they will. And that's the lead as well. And this tower has cleared the first checkpoint.
And credit to Axolt. They seem like they have another great pick right there. Just, it looks like now, they're kind of coming in one by one, a little desperation rushing this, and Axolt's just picking them off left and right. NKT's going to have to be careful before this push snowballs is too awful. A kill like that'll certainly help things.
It absolutely will. And these E-leaders continue to be the difference makers for both of these teams. Able to get a nice bomb pick there on the tower. 34 remaining though. NKT still losing points here. So they are going to finally put a stop to the bleeding, but that's going to be a massive deficit now that they're going to have to climb out of, and Axolt is still keeping this pressure up, so NKT first needs to figure out how to get this tower back to neutral and to get Axolt out of their half of the map.
Axolt is just playing angry right now, man. Whatever got into them in the last week, I could use some. They're just on a roll right now.
Oh, Aizen getting 2 there, trying to get the 3rd as well. Gonna pop this booyah bomb, try to make it difficult for NKT to get back in here, but that's gonna be 3 down for Axolt now, and this is finally going to be the break that NKT has been looking for. That push seemingly lasting a minute and a half from Axolt. So NKT now trying to establish a little bit more map control once again to hopefully get off a meaningful push of their own.
2 down again already, just like that. Now 3 down. They just, man, every single time they try to stop that push and retake mid, Axolt's just right there to get some kills and put them in an immediate disadvantage. And I like that they're not resting here. They're continuing the pressure, still trying to get more points. They know this game isn't necessarily one for them yet. They want some more points. And if anything, just keep the tower on NKT's side of the map, which so far has been working really well. We're down to less than a minute.
Yeah, and it looks like it does continue to work here. Any trades right now going in favor of Axolt with 45 seconds to play. NKT losing 2 members themselves, but the remaining 2 members have specials online. Inkvac being popped right there, as well as the bubble to try to protect that Inkvac. And this is going, the Inkvac will be able to find 1 player, but not much else there. They still have a lot of map control that they are missing here that should help them out in the last 30 seconds if they're able to get a little bit more of that purple paint down.
Yeah, and right now it just looks like Axolt's just going to let them get through this checkpoint and take the fight to the next checkpoint after they get some specials. Going to see the machine trade right there. They are going to pop the bubbles, so that's going to be a little difficult to deal with. That's a great position for them, but looks like NKT is going to pop some specials of their own now, including their own bubble look like. So they are going to go down as the bubble got shredded really quickly. And Axolt, congratulations, getting the revenge set here. This is an SOS 87. This is SOS 88. And Axolt is the winners in this set now.
Wow. Axolt coming in clutch there to steal the tower right underneath NKT to secure the 2-0 victory. phenomenal job there. I mean, you're right. This is a SOS 87. This is SOS 88. This is an entirely new Axolt team that has come and sought their revenge and got exactly what they were looking for. But of course, this set is not quite over yet, as we are going to be looking towards the game 3 Rainmaker Hagglefish.
Yeah, so Axel hoping they can just ride this momentum. They were the underdogs, not only just based on, the last week, but just in the seeding. We're seeing NKT, the 12 seed, going up against Axel, the 21. So Axel just hoping they can ride out this momentum, finish this set strong, and then continue to pull some more upsets as the night goes on.
Yeah, if this is what we are seeing from Axolt in round 1, I would be a little bit afraid to be in their group. And honestly, to face them in bracket as well. So this is a fantastic start for them. If they can keep up this momentum, they are going to be a scary team through the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, their weapons are just pairing up really well. I mean, Machine just able to abuse the terrain so much, having two of them just constantly spamming fizzies and booyah bombs. Going to give you a lot of chip damage, a lot of map control, and then Junior just able to run in and then immediately lock down an area with Big Bubbler. Just so much to deal with and so much pain. And then, oh, by the way, if you peek around the corner too soon while the Elir's looking, they're going to kill you instantly. So it's just so much to deal with on NKT's side. And, they're playing a lot of more shooters, so, they kind of need to get right to their targets in order to take them out. And just Axel's been doing such a good job of just playing their range and not making it too easy on NKT.
Well, the set has already been decided, 2-0 in favor of Axolt, but of course this is a play all 3. Jumping in here, Hagglefish Rainmaker. It looks like we are getting a lot of the same from Axolt that's been working for them this set, but NKT once again changing it up.
Yeah, no Ninja Squid on the side of Axel, but a ton of Sub-Saver. Meanwhile, triple Ninja Squid on the side of NKT. See if they can try to get the map control to abuse that, but right away it's going to be Axel getting that first checkpoint and just keeping it rolling right now. Looks like that bomb pressure is really paying off for him as they get a quick pop with the Rainmaker, and they're going for the KO already.
Oh, 8 points remaining, and this push is not quite over yet. Can they force their way to this pedestal? Able to get 2 down there, but it is a member of NKT that does pick up this Rainmaker, trying to bring it as far away from the pedestal as possible. And with 2 down going down on either side there, this push should be over for Axolt. NKT gonna pick this one up and try to bring it back to center stage.
This is a nice play. Get that Rainmaker out of there a little bit, and then also not only that, but manage to get a kill of their own with the Rainmaker. So really just able to kind of get out of that bad situation before the game just ended and give their team a chance to fight here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to actually swing for this far left pedestal. That's not the checkpoint that you typically see teams go for, but I think it is actually one of these safer options that a lot of teams don't consider here. So I'm glad to see that NKT is going to go ahead and try to just secure this first checkpoint. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to continue to push off of this, which is totally fine. You got the checkpoint. That's the important thing. Now as this resets, if you can hold center map, you can pop that Rainmaker again, and you should have a little bit more of a clear path going right down the middle.
Yeah, especially now, Rainmaker, you got to get through that checkpoint first. So just, take what your opponents will give you. It looked like left was clear. They made the smart decision just getting that checkpoint, and now, now they can push for a lead if they can get it here with these Booyahs. See if they can shred this. The Booyah will go off. Aiden is just barely surviving here, back against the wall. Dodging these bombs. Coach just doing his best to stay alive right now.
They're looking to try to make that jump from that first checkpoint pedestal, but it's not going to be the case. They're going to have to back up now, a disadvantage in numbers. 2v4, this Rainmaker dancing, trying to stay alive, but no, ultimately going to get shut down there. This push is over. 37 remaining is what NKT will settle for halfway through this game.
Did such a good job of surviving, and his reward was having 3 different bombs thrown at him to finally take him out. Just the Sub-Saver, and I believe they outrun an LDE as well, and that 37 now is going to help activate the majority of that LDE. So, man, it's going to be just so hard with so many fizzies and so many splat bombs for the Rainmaker and everybody else to dodge. Really don't envy NKT's position right now, but they do get 2 down, so maybe they can get this push here. Gonna try to hunt down the last few members here. Looks like they're looking around, seeing if they can find somebody. Brian's gonna opt to... I'm just checking everywhere right now because you don't know where somebody's gonna pop up.
It looks like that the majority of the team, though, is right in front of the Rainmaker. They're going to push it all the way up to about where they had left off. But that's going to be 2 down once again. So Rainmaker stuck in no man's land. And NKT going to have to back off here for this E-Leader is trying to hunt them down. Able to get the 1 pick, but going to have to back off here. Axolt's doing a fantastic job on defense. They have a little bit of wiggle room here between that 37 and 8 point remaining. So they, with a minute 15 to play, they should be in a pretty good spot here defensively. They just need to play it a little bit safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, just starting, again, NKT's getting these first couple of kills they need. They just seem to have trouble really following up. Credit to Axolt doing a really good job when they are at a disadvantage, backing up. But it looks like we're going to see some more points, but Rainmaker will go down. It's still a 2v2 situation, so maybe they can get a quick pop, but that LD and those bombs going to make it hard to get a quick pop.
Yeah, making it very difficult indeed. But Brian able to get 2 there before they go down themselves. And this Rainmaker's picked up. Can they get the lead? No, they're going to be 2 points shy. Oh, but do they have the follow-up? It looks like 1 bomb was able to come in here. But no, the Rainmaker Bay is going to get popped there and shut them down. But no, NKT is still keeping up the pressure, though.
The charger on the flank. I was not expecting that. Now just trying to get in with this back. Oh, it's going to go down to a bomb behind him.
Oh my goodness, that's 3 down. The Rainmaker is resetting. That is a wipeout, actually. So NKT will get 1 more shot to take back the lead here. They're gonna have to take this from center stage all the way to the pedestal. They are within a few points
Rainmaker right now, and a bomb.
Oh.
As soon as Rainmaker
what an effort.
got up there, it just became Bomb City, and they just had to back up to avoid that, and they just got backed into a corner. Really nice job there, Axolt. Not panicking, able to stand up to the pressure. And, credit to NKT, they made a game out of it when things were really not going their way, especially early on. But Axolt with a 3-0, a statement to start off this tournament.
Definitely, Axolt. Gotta give themselves a round of applause for that one. This does seem to be a little bit of a developing rivalry between these 2 teams. They seem just so evenly matched that I'm really excited to see how these 2 teams both proceed through this tournament and honestly in the future, because this was not the rivalry that I was expecting it to be. But Axolt being the better team this time around, NKT had a lot of fantastic pushes, a few different leads there, but just ultimately came up a little bit short in each of those games.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep thinking back to game 1 where Axolt was on the verge of getting KO'd within the first 2 minutes, and just how that turning point maybe just turned around the whole set for him. They kind of just got punched in the face and just got back up and continued, and it paid off for him.
It really did pay off for them. I mean, they were tenacious there. They just, made sure that they continued to put their best foot forward and didn't panic. They kind of just settled into a nice team there to just continue to push up a little bit, especially whenever the E-Leader managed to find a pick or 2 and start to camp those ledges. They continue to give themselves opportunities, and that's really that's the most important thing you could do for yourself, is to not give up. Give yourself a couple of opportunities to stay in that game. And Tower Control Rainmaker, a little bit more momentum based there. They were able to ride that momentum to strong leads that ultimately were a little bit too much for NKT to overcome.
And looking at the results here, some of these other sets that came in, there are so many 1-2s to start off this tournament. Man, a lot of teams just fighting for every single game right now. I'm looking, I see Vivid, brand new team, less than a week old, according to their Twitter at least. You may know them, Rissa, Eclipse, Kira, and Gowan. So brand new team of some pretty well-known players starting off. They get a 2-1 victory over, looks like a pickup. Anytime the team name's an emoji name, I'm gonna think that. And then Another 2-1 that we saw is the team we're going to see next, Aly Supremacy. They just lost their 2-1 against Rising Wave. So Rising Wave team that I think they just got second place in the whole tournament last week. Coming in here as the number 2 seed. Aly Supremacy as the 31 seed, able to take a game off them in round 1. So definitely coming here with a little bit of firepower.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a pretty interesting one here. Aly and Aly working together, but also bringing in Dio and Char and Texture. So this is a pretty formidable team here going up against Koi. And this is gonna be, I think, a pretty exciting matchup, especially coming off of what we just saw between Axolt and NKT Definitivo.
And the Aly collaboration that the world has been waiting for is finally here.
It is. It is finally here. A couple of Alys in the community together, they may just be unstoppable. Who knows?
We do love the animated team logo. Definitely very appreciated. So we're gonna go to Clamblitz Undertow Spillway to start off here. What are your thoughts on this map mode?
Clamblitz Undertow is a map mode. It really is a map mode. It is one of the map modes of Splatoon 3. With this one, I feel like there's actually some real potential with this map mode in the competitive scene. I think that there is a good variety of weapons that can excel here. And the baskets, I think, are a good distance from center to mid, and I feel like there's actually a lot going well here for it. I think the map just might be a little bit too wide. There's a lot of map space that just kind of gets ignored, almost similar to Piranha in a few different map modes. So, I think it's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on as we continue to develop the competitive scene for this game. And I would love to see more of this one as well.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, I know, at least for me in my weapon pool. I kind of just play a lot of frontline shooters, and it just seems like, I either pick one side to go on, I'm getting stared down by a long-range weapon, or if I'm playing around that little spine in center, it's somebody like a blaster or a machine that can abuse ledges that are just destroying me. So we'll see what these teams go with. Looks like we see double dualies coming out on this side of Aly Supremacy. Aly, of course, on the Tetra, and then Dio going for the regular Splat dualies. And interestingly enough, it looks like Koi going to play without the traditional backliner role, just going to go for just a squeezer as their longest range weapon.
Yeah, and early on, though, especially with a couple of more Slayer weapons here, we are seeing an absolute bloodbath to start this game, as we are seeing picks left and right, neither team getting strong control of this map or the clam economy. But with 3 down there on the side of Koi, this could be an opportunity for Aly Supremacy to get first opportunity at the basket. There is the power clam and the dunk. So this push is on for Aly Supremacy. They have quite a few clams to follow up with here. Can Koi put a stop to this before it goes too far?
Well, they're already going to go 2 down. This is a bad situation. Luckily, Aly Supremacy out of clams at the moment, so looks like some spawn right near basket. Gotta love that. So it's gonna keep this push alive just for the moment, but looks like they're out again, so gonna have to try to reload as Koi's trying to come in here.
38 remaining is what that's gonna stop at.
So, Koi able to just kind of survive that push. Still need to work on getting, map control back in their base and everything. But Aly on this Tetra is just constantly applying pressure, jumping back in, and already ready to try to hunt down for some kills here.
Yeah, Aly on those Tetras is just one of the best. I guess we could say one trick for Aly. She's just phenomenal, and it's absolutely insane to watch them do what they do. A nice pick there as well.
Yeah, that was big. She was the last one alive there at the moment, so able to get at least a trade to kind of halt Koi's momentum, so they're not going to be able to start a push, giving her team time to spawn back in. And Aly already in as well. So many Alys happening right now. Looks like this Aly's in trouble, but he is going to be able to back up. Dio looking like going to try to help out, but ends up getting taken out himself. No good deed goes unpunished. In the meantime, gotta be really careful here. Texture's gonna get taken out now. Aly's gonna jump and get the revenge kill, and it's just everybody's backing each other up right now. It is a bloodbath.
It really is a bloodbath, and it has been for 2.5 minutes now. The KA on this game is going to be absolutely insane. 2.5 more minutes to go, assuming that no knockout occurs here. But Aly Supremacy getting a couple of nice picks that might gear them up for another push opportunity. Aly gonna have to jump out of this one back to safety, but gonna get shut down by a bomb there. Koi with the numbers and a couple of specials to work with as well. But as they start to move up, they get shut down themselves, and mid is just a battlefield right now.
Looks like Aly's gonna secure that kill, then start this next push, getting a ball in. But again, these bombs just finding some nice kills for Koi, able to at least get something going to stop this push here. I like the bubbler coming out as well to try to block off the basket area. And looks like maybe they are going to be able to prevent this from getting any worse for them and get themselves another pity clam. Looks like they will.
So minimal damage there, as they are able to stop Aly Supremacy from putting any meaningful points on the board. They do have a power clam to work with, but they go 3 down, and with 15 clams in their pockets plus the wipeout, here is a much bigger push now from Aly Supremacy, looking for the knockout with a minute to go. They do have the clams to make it happen, but can they get them in the basket in time? It looks like they will, and that will be Aly Supremacy knocking out game 1.
Aly Supremacy is just playing so fast, and it's like when you're in a line like that, like Koi ended up being, it's just like you're just checkpoints in a race. Like everybody will focus the first person in line. Once they're dead, they immediately slide over the next person in line. And it just goes and goes and goes. Really good job by them to take game 1.
Yeah, excellent job indeed. Aly Supremacy showing the Splatoon world how great the Alys of the community are.
And so now it's going to be interesting here going to Scorch Gorge. I really worry for Koi if those Tetras are able to run wild across those grates once they get control of zone, because it can be... I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't like about this map is if you're in a situation where you're kind of getting spawn camped, you're basically having to fight uphill to get control, which is, never good. You have less range and everything. So, I think if I'm Koi, I'm really going to be conscious of making sure at least somebody is alive to watch our snipe area to make sure that if we do go down in mid, at least nobody's able to cross those grates. But it might mean some adjustments for them because they did go without at least a traditional backliner that first game. Whether they just didn't like the map or whether or not they just don't have one, that's at least a concern to have right now.
Yeah, it certainly is, especially because with this map mode, your backline is such an integral piece here. Because for one, coming out of your plot, you have a nice perch to work with. You can really oversee a large portion of the zone. This zone does give me, ink blot / kelp dome vibes with the giant center area, and you have to paint all around the center area. But if you do have control, you're able to move that backline up to sit right in the center of the map and pick off any of the opposition that's trying to approach the edges of their plat to drop down and start taking back control of the zone. So you could put a stop to that. But if you don't have a backline, that becomes a little bit more difficult. So you're going to really have to sit on those ledges and sit right underneath them. Probably play a little bit more of a sharking game at times, but that means you're also going to give up maybe a little bit of ink as well. So it's going to be a little bit of a weird balancing act if you don't bring out a backline here.
And it looks like texture switching from the heavy splatling to the Xplosher, and Koi not going with the backline, so it's going to be interesting to see how they can maintain control of this map, especially if things don't go their favor in this first engagement. And this map's scary. There's really not any backing up once you drop in a mid. It's, win or respawn here. They are going to get the first kill early on, though, which is pretty big. So now just see if they can get something out of this. Texture going to get a revenge kill, but another team member goes down on the side of Aly Supremacy. Texture going down as well now.
Aly seems to be the last one standing from this initial skirmish, and they are able to survive just long enough to help their team get back into the zone and take first control. And they are now working on that counter, trying to bring it down and setting up their Xplosh perfectly on these grates, making it super difficult. And that's going to be 3 down on the side of Koi. Now it's Aly with the Tetras that is in their plat, and the entire team has made their home in the base of Koi.
My fears are coming true, and that's one thing too. Aly Supremacy, you get a couple of them down, you gotta push in for that wipe, because Aly and Dio are just gonna be so aggressive jumping back in, and that's what we saw there. Aly the Junior was able to stay alive, and that allowed the rest of the team to just jump back in and get control after going down that first engagement.
Aly Supremacy still holding on to the zone. Lewis here going to try to use this Booyah Bomb to help neutralize it, give their team an opportunity. It is going to be enough for the neutral, but can they get control? If they don't get control here, this is going to be very difficult to get back in their favor, and this can go either way at this point.
Like Aly got the trade, and the zone in the meantime is flipped, and it's going to go to Aly Supremacy, taking this set with game 2 here. Again, just great performance by them.
Aly Supremacy continues their dominant run in this set, taking game number 2 and the set. So, I mean, just a phenomenal job there. The Aly combination here, along with their friends Dio and Texture, just continue to show how great Alys are in the community.
Yeah, we saw, like I said, Aly Supremacy took a game against Rising Wave round 1, and this was supposed to be a pretty tight set. We have, Aly Supremacy 31 seed going against Koi 34 seed. But I think that first set really wound up Aly Supremacy, got him angry, and now, Koi unfortunately gets caught in their way.
But it isn't, I guess, not completely over for Koi. They still have game 3, an opportunity to get themselves a win under their belts against Aly Supremacy, help themselves out should tiebreakers come into effect at the end of the group stage. So Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy is where we are going to be headed momentarily. Greg, what's your take on this one?
I think, if you lose on these first couple of maps, maybe it can feel good to kind of come home in a way. Come back to the old neighborhood. Come back to a Splatoon 2 map mode that, a few minor tweaks to the map, but at least, teams here, they have a plan. They know how to play this map. They know how to position. So if anything, this can help Koi bounce back a little bit as they get back into the familiar a little.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that take. It'll be interesting to see if, there is, I feel like, a good familiarity here. I feel like Koi's aggressive nature could help them out if they are able to get into mid and win the first battle. They can start to really set those pieces up onto the plat of Aly Supremacy and try to make it really difficult for them to come back in, because with Inkblot, this is a lockout possibility. So they just need to give themselves that chance, get up on that plat. If they can work their way into the bats, even better. But that will remain to be seen as we jump right into game number 3.
And more of the same coming out from Aly Supremacy. Dio going back to the dualies, switching off the sloshing machine. And in the meantime, we see Lucio going with the tri-slosher. Inkjet pretty strong on this map, trying to contest some key points for sure on the plat.
Yeah, and early on, it looks like this is a 2v2, 2 players from either side kind of diving right into the other team's plats. So a little bit of a 2v2 on both sides of the map. It looks like Koi will win the 2v2 on their half as the tower gets pushed up just a little bit, but Aly Supremacy might have just gone a little too far there, as now Koi is in control of this tower, trying to follow up with this wipeout, and they should get this first checkpoint for free.
I don't know if that was a little lag or what, but we saw somebody from Aly Supremacy jump out, and then the next second they were all dead. Not quite sure how the jumper managed to die, but I'm sure Koi's not complaining right now as they're getting to the second checkpoint, but two of them are going to go down. Looks like, yeah, this push is going to be over, but hey, take what you can get, cleared the first checkpoint, so that's, one thing off their to-do list, but Dio already pushing up, getting pretty aggressive, trying to get on this plat. Meanwhile, Aly's coming in on the other side to cause some havoc, and looks like one will go down, the Reef Slider's going to get another. Really good job here. Now Dio's going to push up, is going to get taken out, but still 3 down on the side of Koi, and there's Aly to finish off the wipe.
Delayed wipe will allow Aly Supremacy to take control of the lead here. Koi not in a position to stop this checkpoint. So Koi may have taken 1 checkpoint, but Aly Supremacy responding with 2 of their own. Finally, the Booyah Bomb able to come in and shut down this push. And this will be Koi's opportunity to reset this tower a little bit and allow themselves to get some paint back in mid.
Yeah, nice bomb kill there. I think that, that's going to be important for them if they're going to win this game. It's just these bombs. You have all these dualies just sliding, rolling all over the place. Able to just catch them, in their paws with a bomb could be huge here. You're going to see a trade here. Lucio going to trade with the crab. And it looks like Aly in a great position here, able to just kind of control this plat as the tower keeps on pushing very close to the 3rd checkpoint. Gonna get a kill there, but taken out by the Reef Slider.
Lucio able to continue to cause some havoc here, finally putting a stop to this push. And Koi now having a mountain to climb in the second half of this game. They're doing an excellent job of keeping themselves alive, but they're going to have to put in quite a bit of work here to get the lead back, especially with just how aggressive Aly Supremacy has been. If Aly Supremacy is able to get 1 person behind Koi's, entire team, then that's when things really seemingly start to crumble for them. So they're gonna have to do a good job here of communicating where all of these players are moving, because that's really what's been causing them a lot of trouble so far.
Elber with 2 really nice kills there with his Trizuka, now just staying alive and causing some havoc of their own. And I really appreciate the resiliency here of Koi. This map can really snowball after the 2nd checkpoint, but they've been able to stand up, and now another Trizuka ready. Gonna at least flirt with the option, taking this rail, maybe not gonna go for it. Oh, gonna go for the Zuka first, but 2 down on their side already. It looks like Aly was there with the flank. He's gonna get taken out, but the tower's very vulnerable right now. They're gonna get taken out.
Yeah, and Aly doing a fantastic job of just making it so difficult for Koi to get anything done, because they always have to be looking behind them and like, where's Aly coming from? Where are these Tetras? Who's stopping them? So even forcing the Trizuka to use their last shot there to shut that down just so this tower could have a chance to continue moving forward. Ultimately, that was not the case here, as now we see Lewis trying to pull a page out of Aly Supremacy's book and playing from behind their lines, but that's going to get shut down real quick, and that's 3 down on the side of Koi. Aly Supremacy should be able to get this tower pretty close to where they had left off with it.
Yeah, and again, just keeping the tower on Koi's side is just eating away time. That even if this push doesn't amount to more points, it's still just eating a big chunk of time, which they don't only have left. Their next push is going to be their last. If they can even get there, though, Aly again with another kill, just causing so much trouble right now. Is going to finally get taken out by Elber, and here's a chance. 2 down on the side of Aly Supremacy. This is time to start a push, but the Junior's going to get taken out now.
And the Squeezer somehow staying alive themselves. Bringing out the Trizuka, though, not able to find anybody. So 10 seconds to go, and it's Aly Supremacy that is swarming all around this tower. I don't think there's going to be enough time for Koi to even touch the tower, and that will be game 3 going towards Aly Supremacy.
Yeah, really solid job that entire set. Aly Supremacy never really got in too much trouble. Just able to keep their foot on the gas pedal the entire time and coming away with a 3-0.
An excellent showing from Aly Supremacy. Coming off of, as you had said, a 1-2 loss against Rising Wave. A really excellent job taking 1 game off of them, as they have been one of the hottest teams in Swim or Sink recently. So now continuing to show their dominance here, taking the 3-0 against Koi. So, Koi, I think, was, still in it. I think they just, there's a couple things that they could have maybe done a little bit differently, or it was a little bit of an overwhelming effort there, trying to deal with the very aggressive nature from Aly Supremacy and the backline. Koi trying to bring out the all aggro comp themselves just didn't really have a solution for all the different things that were being thrown at them left and right. But I mean, I think that just goes to show how great of a team this Aly Supremacy group is.
Yeah, Aly Supremacy is just pressure constantly. You finally get a kill, and then the quick respawn kicks in, so you get 2 seconds to act on that advantage before it's totally wiped away again. It's just a lot to deal with if you're Koi. So really good job there by Aly Supremacy.
Well,
we'll wait for our round 3. Hopefully we get some good matches here. We've been getting some good ones so far. We'll see if that can continue here. Ooh, Xpresso versus Valiant is who we have on deck here. Let's see how they are looking and take a quick peek at what their night has been like so far. Let's see here. Man, so many teams to scroll through.
Let's see. They're both sitting at 1-1. There we go.
Oh man, this will be a good one then. Looks like both teams probably losing to Salute. That's the team with Prophet, Kalana, Chase, Pelu, Evan, and Apple. So pretty strong team. So this is kind of the fight for second place of this group, which is big. You want to go to Hammerhead rather than Mako coming out of this. It's going to be a pretty intense fight here.
Yeah, and this whole group has actually been very competitive. Both teams did lose to Salute, but by a score of 1-2. So if both teams are taking a game off of Salute, then at least on paper, these teams should be pretty close. And taking a look at what's coming up as well, Rainmaker, Hammerhead, Clamblitz, Sturgeon, and Zones Wahoo. So, oh man, that's gonna be a pretty interesting set of map modes, actually.
Yeah, wow. Like you said, interesting group when the margin between first and third is that slim. It's gonna be a really good set. I can't wait for. So as far as Rainmaker on Hammerhead, I kind of have not been a part of much of the map discussion, but I'm seeing a lot of people just kind of considering Hammerhead to be Walleye 2. Is that kind of your vibe on this map?
That's actually a pretty good interpretation. It's a very long, narrow map with kind of a few wider areas in the center off to the sides that tend to be relevant once in a while. As people maybe try to drop in for a flank and whatnot. So I do think that this is probably just a little bit of a larger Walleye warehouse. Yeah, that would actually be a fantastic comparison.
It's it can be a pretty quick one too, as far as just the route really is just kind of a straight line. So you go down early on, the checkpoint's going to clear really quickly, and then by the time you're respawning, the enemy team does have enough time to push up to kind of that next elbow where a lot of the fighting happens. At least you have some high ground to work with, but if an enemy team's going with a slosher or blaster or a roller, those ledges that you're using to get that high ground can be just death traps.
Yeah, and another thing that I think is worth noting as well with Rainmaker, Sturgeon, or not, sorry, Hammerhead, my apologies, is that there is only one option for your checkpoint, and it is very, very close to mid. I'm not sure if there's actually a checkpoint that is less valuable than on Hammerhead, because the checkpoint is at 79 points remaining. So it's really in the grand scheme of things, not a very big checkpoint to, gain or lose.
Yeah, just a little speed bump on the way. And that's, again, with these one checkpoint maps, I feel like they tend to play faster because there is no indecision on which way do I go kind of thing. It's just like go, straight forward, and then we're moving on.
Hold forward. The classic Splatoon strategy.
And so on the side here, Xpresso, we have Arito, Hermit, Pincher, and Tyuster. Valiant, we have Woomy, Nilla, Salty, Scotty, and Sune. Sorry if I butcher any of those names, but ready to see what they bring out here.
Yeah, it would definitely be kind of interesting to see what they end up bringing out. We continue to talk about backlines, and that's just because it is such an integral part of the current Splatoon 3 meta. And with Rainmaker, Hammerhead, there is quite a few opportunities to establish your backlines in several good positions here, especially given that there is really only one way to go with the Rainmaker, and that's up the ramp on the far left side. And I don't really see anyone else trying to take it any other way. I'm not even sure if there is really another viable option, to be quite honest. So your backline can hang back, sit pretty, and just camp there in the event that you have to be defensive. On the offensive side of things, it can be a little bit trickier for your backline to move up with the offense because you are aiming upward. It is an actual uphill battle every time you push that Rainmaker.
It's gonna be, man, it really is just such a punishing map whenever you do lose that initial fight. So that's just gonna be so crucial. I feel like teams will either just go all in on getting that pop to get that instant map control, or the opposite, just be a little afraid of that pop and just kind of hang back, build special, and seed pop to the other team. We'll see what they go with. We're gonna see our first tri-stringer of the night. Love to see it.
Yeah, I'm definitely a bit surprised to see that Tri-Stringer come out. A weapon that we don't get to see a whole lot of, but it's always exciting whenever it does come out. It's a not really sought after option for the backline. And oh man, Xpresso gonna be going down 3 early, but as we said, this first checkpoint largely insignificant in the grand scheme of things. It's a little bit of a speed bump, as you had said, and the important thing now is that the front line is able to push up and establish this paint control on the ramp.
It's the perfectly timed bomb to take out that reef slider before it's able to get going, and that's gonna kind of save the day for now, as it looks like the push for Valiant's gonna end. And push again now with this crab, with this killer whale, trying to retake mid here is Xpresso, and just gotta be careful on this dualies on this side here. Gonna cause some trouble, able to do some damage, but now 2 go down, gonna have to back up here. They're not gonna have enough time, just so quick. Valiant able to get up here and get this advantage again.
The crab tank as well, trying to set up camp on the base of this ramp. This Rainmaker is going to add a few more points on the board, but finally going to get shut down by this killer whale. Valiant still trying to maintain some pressure here, but with 3 down, the jump coming in also finally going to get shut down. This is an opportunity now for Xpresso to get this Rainmaker back to mid and get their first points on the board, possibly even to checkpoint, given that it's not that far away.
Here's again, you don't have to get it all in one chunk. At least see if they can get this first checkpoint to start with. I think, one thing that plays in their favor with the Tri-Stringer, as the Rainmaker gets taken out, nice shot there by Sune. Tri-Stringer, really good damage, so, it doesn't take much for a Tri-Stringer to pop a Rainmaker shield, so they're able to sustain pushes with that, but right now Valiant just shutting it down.
Valiant continues their dominant run in this first game. We are only just over 2 minutes in, but it feels like Valiant has been in control nearly every second of this, and a knockout just may be inevitable soon as they are able to push another 10 points off the scoreboard. And now with 3 down yet again, Xpresso able to stop the push, but bled just a little bit more.
I think Valiant is just thinking, man, how soon could we have KO'd if our Reef Slider could just not get canceled the second it gets popped? That's twice now that's happened to them and has kind of stalled out the push, but can't be complaining too much about it with a push of 13 here with only just over 2 minutes left.
And Xpresso doing a good job of every time they're able to get that stop, they're just clearing out their entire side of the map, pushing that Rainmaker all the way up back to mid, even if it means going
Nice
down
battle.
with it, but oh, that's a beautiful 3 down, and that's going to be the first checkpoint falling. So finally, Xpresso going to break through that crucial first checkpoint and get some more meaningful points on the board here. That gate no longer a barrier.
This is big, 2 down. Ah, but 2 down's gonna go on the side of Xpresso as well. Trying to do what they can. Rainmaker's gonna push up and just get taken out. That was so close. Good job by Valiant to just barely stop that Rainmaker in time. And so now, you know, you were in the driver's seat this entire time if you're Valiant, but Xpresso just barely missed out taking the lead here. So you gotta be a little more careful. You can't play too reckless here in this final minute.
Yeah, I think Valiant might have gotten a little bit comfortable, as you're sort of hinting at there. You know, having to suddenly play very defensively might have actually caught them off guard. But now they are back into position that they have known the entire 4 minutes of this game so far in the offensive, able to bring this Rainmaker all the way back to mid before getting shut down there. And that's actually a perfectly good place to leave it right now. They are able to get the pop as well. 45 seconds to play. So there is still another opportunity for Xpresso to get another push off, or two possibly, if they're able to continue to get the picks that we've been seeing in the second half.
Yeah, we saw Rito with a nice pick on the Charger, and so they have their special ray, just trying to clear out some of these flanks so before they push forward they're not going to get taken out from behind, but the Ink Brush is going to go down up front, which, you know, now just going to pick it up. You can't be too choosy because you're down the last 20 seconds. Going to try to at least, but they got to worry about Woomy here on the side. Woomy's going to dive in, try to get a kill on the Rainmaker, and they will. And looks like,
and I don't think there's enough
in time.
Yeah, that's going to be Valiant that holds on here in game number 1. Getting a little bit of a scare there in the second half, but 13 remaining was just a little too much to overcome. So it's going to be an early 1-0 victory, and this set might just be as close as we were initially thinking.
Yeah, I think everybody's had games like that, whether it's, you know, tournaments or scrims or just solo, where, you know, you get a nice lead and then you get another push and another push, but you just can't KO. So you kind of just in your mind, I'm like, all right, we're not KOing these guys. Time to just run out the clock. And that kind of complacency gives the losing team a window to just kind of slide in and get a big push off. But Valiant just able to stop it just in the nick of time to preserve their win.
Yeah, Xpresso. What we saw from the second half there from Xpresso is what they're going to have to maintain through the rest of this set. It seemed like that the first half was really spent trying to figure out how do we deal with the aggression that Valiant is bringing out right now. And once they kind of started to piece that together and got some, you know, great defensive stops there, they just, I think, let themselves bleed out a little bit too much there, letting that all the way go to 13 remaining. But defense is the greatest offense, and I think that's when they started to, you know, really get it together was the second or third time they had to get that stop, and they were like, okay, yeah, now we know exactly how to, you know, get these kills on defense. We could just apply this now to the rest of this game as well. You know, just being really smart about trying to isolate some of their slayers and then slowly letting the rest of the team crumble from there. And it gave themselves that opportunity, but it just was too little, too late. But now we look towards Clamblitz Sturgeon. And Gregor, what are you thinking about this one? Anything that these teams need to consider or change?
I'm wondering if Xpresso's Tri-Stringer was, like I said, a Rainmaker pick because of that damage on the shield, or if they're a true Tri-Stringer player, because this is kind of an interesting map where the defending team is kind of stuck, you know, on low ground, this kind of pit area. So if they can pressure with Killer Whale, which it looks like they're going to bring out, and, you know, between that and Mist and just the exploding arrows of the Tri-Stringer, it can be really hard if you're a defending team to kind of stay in there as team is winding up for a push towards the basket.
And this game is on. Xpresso going to be losing their splash very early on here. So Valiant will see a lot of map control early on. And this Tri-Stringer, though, doing an excellent job of holding on to the spinner and getting a couple of picks. There's the second. A nice job there by Irito. And they're now finally going to get a little bit of pressure here. So that's going to be the jump out, and Valiant getting some solid control of mid.
Yeah, Herman able to form a ball, but gonna get taken out now. It's like we're seeing the old school versus new school as far as backlines here. Really good job here of Arito working this tri-stringer, getting some kills when they really need them. Suni doesn't want to be outshined right now, gonna get a pick of their own.
Oh man, I always love when we have these dueling backlines. It's always so satisfying to see them get picks. But now it's Valiant that continues to their aggressive push here. Woomy gonna take that Reef slider all the way to the basket. This should open up an opportunity now for the first score of the game, a minute and a half into this one. But do they have the follow-up? Not a whole lot of clams in their pockets to work with. So this push may be short-lived, especially as they're trying to throw these clams from the spinner, finally able to get themselves a little bit closer now, but I think it just might be a little too late, as 65 remaining might be what they have to settle for now.
Yeah, it would at least dump in one more, but yeah, push gonna end here, but they gotta be careful. You can't just run straight in the mid because Suni's there with that charger watching, and then on the other side, Snilla with the tri-slash able to get one pick, but gonna get taken out by Hermit here. Gonna pop this killer whale, try to apply some pressure, and scout out where some people are, but gonna back up because they realized that on that side of the map they were at a numbers disadvantage here.
And with Sune now also bringing out that ink back, trying to push back Xpresso once more. The bubble coming out, two members underneath that basket. They don't necessarily have the clams to work with, but I guess they figured that if they can just keep this pressure up, the clams will come eventually. But no, that's actually going to be 3 down the side of Valiant, and Nia is going to have to back up now to play some defense, and this is going to be Xpresso's first opportunity to settle into mid a little bit and possibly get their first push going.
Kind of a frustrating thing about this map is times like this where you have a lot of mid control. Like, where are the clams right now? They have 10, but like, where are more? You know, I'm sure they would want more to push in with their specials and stuff. Finally, you know, you see a couple spawn, but sometimes that just happens with this map where, you know, you want to build up some more clams and they just don't come, so you're just forced to hold mid for a little while longer. Good for them for not playing too impatiently. Are going to try to go in with this, but are going to get taken out. See if they can at least get some points here. Teucer's going to ensure that. And 3 down, so maybe if they can win this fight, but gonna have to go up against a vacuum. Not a very easy fight. Trying to at least compel some friends to jump in. And looks like one does, but they are going to get taken out.
Oh man, that was a pretty interesting battle there between the Inkvac and the VDS. VDS living long enough to get back out and get their team to jump in, but his jumps are not going to go anywhere.
Nice killer by Wumi. I didn't even notice they were able to sneak another ball, and now a jump here, and they're going to get lead off of that.
Wow, I did not even anticipate that jump coming in. So now it's actually Xpresso who suddenly has the lead with a minute to play.
Gotta be careful here. They're already 2 down, and the basket's already open. So, you know, gonna quickly surrender that lead here. Hope at least they can just stop the bleeding right now as Pincher's trying to go in, but Wumi's gonna get the kill right behind him. So now it's Hermit's. He's got to play defenses. Wumi's gonna try to come in, throw some more clams, and this is a scary spot right here. A tri-slasher above you, just pouring in clams. They're gonna get taken out, but 11 is scary on this map. It's a tall order, and they're only getting one more chance here as we're down to 30 seconds.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to come down to one last push. 20 clams in the pockets of Xpresso and counting. They have 2 power clams to work with. Irito trying to set up an opportunity for these power clamps to come in. They're able to get that first power clamp, and the tri-stringer got a beautiful pick there. But is there a follow-up? Yes, there is a little bit, but it might not be enough as that power clamp is going to expire. Do they have any more clams to keep this basket open?
They want to get in some, but again, just now it's so far away from basket. And of course, now some clams spawn on the snipe. He would have probably appreciated that 10 seconds ago. But Valiant able to hang on to this one. Again, just standing up on defense when they really needed to. And they're going to take this set as we still have one more to go for this set. in our final round of group stage.
Yeah, and this third one, Xpresso, can hope to be able to flip it around. It's been the same story these first two games, where Valiant comes out with a very strong first half, able to build up massive leads. But Xpresso each time has worked their way back into the game. In the first game, they weren't quite able to get the lead, but they got within 4 points. And meanwhile, Sturgeon Shipyard, they were able to get the lead there before Valiant once again flipped it back and just built up that lead once again. But Xpresso gave themselves that last opportunity in overtime. So Xpresso's not out of it. They just need that little extra push to overcome this Valiant team. And with Splatzone's Wahoo on deck here, this one might, I guess this map mode, could be, it could go one of two ways. Wahoo World is so lockout heavy, so they're gonna first of all have to prioritize not getting locked out, which is something that Valiant has been trying to do pretty consistently here. But Xpresso has done a good job of avoiding those situations and finding their way back into mid each time. But with Wahoo World, I think that's even a little bit of an extra challenge.
Yeah, and Xpresso's been running that ink brush who, not a whole lot of room to move side to side on Hammerhead. A little bit more options on Sturgeon, but still probably not the greatest brush map in the world. But I feel like here there's at least some more avenues for them to flank and kind of cause some havoc. So I would feel optimistic if I'm Xpresso to see if they can get a little more value out of that brush pick to, just get in the face of Valiant on this map.
All right, here we go into game 3, the double splash.
Go with double splash. I think they got a little sick of getting picked off by the Chargers so much they said, let's just crab him out of existence. So right now.
I agree. I think that's honestly what probably the play call was here is, let's just hit them with the double crab and make their life difficult, especially because there's I really love how the crab can stretch across the map here and just put down so much pain and be able to reach a couple of tricky spots here, but Valiant already doing what they've been doing best, and that is getting a couple early picks and early control of the objective. And now we're starting to see a possible lockout situation, but Xpresso has found a way out of it multiple times before. Can they do it again?
Yeah, Neo with some versatility going from the Tri-Slosher to the Tense Umbrella. Not a pick you see very often. And right now, I'm just trying to at least get a kill here, but that Booyah's gonna scare him off, and now things are bad pretty quick, already down to 30, and here comes that ink bag. It's gonna spot out Hermit. They're gonna try to at least stay alive here, and it looks like we do see on the flank, trying to get some map control here. The Ink Miser gonna go off on the zone to temporarily hold it in favor. And was that a kill with the Umbrella Shield?
That might have been actually, and that's going to be the game. Valiant holding out this time, not letting Xpresso have a shot at the zone. We saw a little bit of a neutral there, but Valley just continued to really put on an excellent display in these early game situations to win this one and complete the 3-0 sweep.
Did you mean that when you said Xpresso didn't have a shot?
I did not mean that, but we will say that I did because that is pretty good.
So a really solid set to close out our groups here. Gonna kind of just browse around. No surprise, gas prices, if you guys have been watching a lot of SOS. Not surprised to see them go 3-0 in their group to start off. And it looks like Rising Wave gonna come out of their group as well ahead, at least up 2-0 right now in far as win-loss column. I'm trying to see some other teams I maybe recognize here. Tuki 2 currently in the lead of their group as well, 2-0, so it looks like they still need to finish up. Vivid, as I mentioned, brand new team. They are also 2-0 in their group. Looks like Group K, we have an interesting situation here of Sequoia 2-1, Your Mother 2-1. and then Outclass 1-2, Ink Pressure 1-2. So we have a little bit of a tie here. Gonna see how the tiebreakers shake that one out. And
Oh man.
Axolt, who we saw earlier, they're also up 2-0 in their group. So it looks like they, as long as we don't get any surprise on that end, they're gonna move on to Great White as well.
Yeah, so it looks mostly standard across the board, except for that Group K, which is a pretty interesting situation. I believe that will probably come down to head-to-head between the teams that are tied there, but we will have to see how that one goes. As well as where was I saw another group? Group D is we have a pretty interesting matchup between 2-0 teams trying to fight it out for that top spot to make it to the Great White bracket. So it looks like there's still a couple of matches to go as we start to settle in to who makes top cut. And I guess we'll have to just keep an eye on the bracket for now. Top cut, though, is going to be coming up soon. You do not want to miss it. We'll go ahead and take a bit of a quick break, and we'll be back very, very soon.
Welcome back, everybody, to Swim or Sink 88. Starting up top cut right now. We have a really good match on deck for you guys. DRF, who do we have here?
We've got the one and only Tuki 2 taking on Vivid. And Tuki was so great that they made a second one.
They said it couldn't be done. And, so Tuki, if you guys are familiar, following through Splatoon 2, Tuki definitely a team that really grew up and came to be in the final year or so of that game. Haven't been seeing or I haven't personally kept up with them as much lately, but Mr. Z, one of the few people that were, really flying the banner for Chargers back in Splatoon 2. I imagine he's thriving right now in Splatoon 3.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, all you got to say is Charger, and I already know that I'm keeping an eye on Mr. Z for Tuki too. That'll definitely be a focal point for their compositions, possibly. And looking forward to this map list. Actually, Tower Control, Eeltail Alley. Nice long narrow map that could very well work to their advantage.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see how Vivid is gonna be able to handle Tuki 2 on this match. Vivid, brand spanking new team, just came. Their Twitter post introducing them was November 4th. Here we are, November 9th. So, already getting into the spotlight as a brand new team here. But brand new team, but a lot of familiar faces we've seen around. Eclipse, Rissa, Kira, definitely a lot of names that more familiar with if you were following again Splatoon 2. Though, a lot of times it's, players know each other, get to know each other, and just kind of find that right combination of people that you've played with in the past to form a brand new team and see what they can do.
And here we go, loading into game number 1. Tuki 2 taking on Vivid, and taking a look at these compositions, we see that signature E-leader coming out on both sides. Vivid running what has slowly become a pretty meta comp here with that double splash and splatter shot as well.
And Joe gonna get a kill right away on that splatter shot, so looks like it's gonna be Tuki hopping on tower first of all. Smartly using that big bubbler to just take care of that first checkpoint. Here's Z riding tower as well. Gonna back off a little as he feels the pressure. Zeal popping this crab early. Is gonna get attacked by a crab their own. And right now, it looks like the tower is gonna fall back as Vivid able to at least stall this for now, but Tuki isn't quite done yet.
Tuki definitely not done yet as they are marching their way to that second checkpoint. Tart able to take down Rissa there. That's going to be 2 down on the side of Vivid. Trying to get the third with Eclipse with the height advantage at the moment. Trying to stop this tower, but that bubbler going to force Eclipse to back off for the time being. Doing an excellent dance here to just stay alive. Not able to get the picks that they need though yet. Finally going to be going down, and it's going to be 3 down on either side. This is going to be a clutch 1v1, and it's going to be Joe that wins this one. And they are going to be able to maintain a little bit of pressure before finally going down themselves. A delayed wipe on either side.
Joe got off to a hot start, and he's feeling confident right now. Just the burst bomb from Spawn finally taking him out, but playing really aggressive right now. It's gonna be interesting to see if he can continue going. But Z finally gets a pick here, and again, this push is gonna get underway. They were able to get through that second checkpoint a little bit, but now set up in a better position to maybe clear it entirely.
And specials online as well for Tuki 2, taking no time to pop those specials as well to help them extend this push. Able to clear that second checkpoint now at the third. Eeltail Alley is a very snowball heavy map, so it is very possible that this push could lead to the knockout, as we do see the third down, and it's now going to be Gowan, the last person standing, using that E-leader's range to stop this tower. But is it going to be too little too late? Yes, it is. And it is going to be Tuki 2 winning game number 1.
Man, really just very close there to stop that push, but Tuki just really just kept the pressure going on the entire time. Especially those bubbles coming from the big bubbler coming out from Tart just always seem to be blocking off right when it seemed like Vivid kind of had an angle to contest tower a little more, just getting shut down by that big bubbler, which able to just keep that push going.
Yeah, and it like I was saying, it is a very snowball heavy map there where once you get that momentum going, it's just it's over. I don't see many Eeltail Alley games that go to full 5 minutes. So once Tuki 2 had control of the map and were able to start pushing up and staggering the members of Vivid, it was pretty much over. It's so difficult to get back into this one. But looking towards game number 2, Vivid, I think, will have a much better shot here. Rainmaker, Mako, Mart. And this one, a little bit more of a settled pace, especially given the two different ways that you could try to take that Rainmaker. Those checkpoints, I think, are in good spots to really break up the pace of this map.
Yeah, we saw Hammerhead early, just one checkpoint really on the way, and it's just kind of go, go, go. This one, you have some options. You have the checkpoint that, the shorter route, but it just takes you right underneath the enemy spawn, so can't always get that route for free, and then you have the longer route if you're the pushing team taking it to the left. You gotta jump across the block, gotta do some things, but at least the enemy isn't spawning right on top of you, so definitely some different options that is not, always going to be, plan A or plan B. It just kind of depends on what the situation calls for at that given moment.
All right, here we go. Loading into game number 2, Mako Mart Rainmaker, Tuki 2 with the 1-0 lead, and taking a look at these comps here, Guan is going to exchange that E-Leader for the X-Splosh. Mr. Z going a little bit shorter range here with the Splat Charger, but otherwise it seems like a lot of these comps are pretty similar to what we saw in the previous game.
Yeah, I think Owen just, not really wanting to kind of line up and try to peek against Z, so instead just going to use the cover of the map to contest him a different way, and able to get that kill to stop the push, but it looks like Tuki's going to get that pop right away. Nice kill there by Eclipse to stop the push, and now we're just able to get a trade on the 1v1, so that'll end that push for Tuki too. And it looks like Vivid now is going to try to set up a mid. Looks like Eclipse already trying to clear that left path. Has the Trizuka ready, but looks like not quite going to pop it yet. Going to see what they can do, just kind of stalling, creating some space, but they are going to get taken out here.
They do get the pop though, but it's not going to be enough to get to that checkpoint. Both members of Tuki 2 putting together a nice fortified defense there to slow down Vivid, and it pays off. Now it's going to be a Rainmaker reset. All members online for both teams. A few specials to go either way, but that's going to be 2 down. Oh, wow. That pop was brutal for Vivid.
And now this is scary. Really clutch kill right there to stop the Rainmaker. They're going to have to wait a little while for that to reset so they can pop it. He's going to do just that, but now the members of Vivid are back. I don't know who it was that stopped the Rainmaker here, but that was huge play that saved them a checkpoint, maybe the game right now, as they are able to at least stop the push. He's going to get at least the trade with Ink back.
I was not expecting them to get that trade there, but I think that was their best case scenario at that point. So I'm pretty sure they will happily take that one. Very close game though, as we approach that midway point, and Tuki 2's picking up this Rainmaker, looking to get the lead, able to get up on this box, but gonna get shut down there. Joe trying to keep this push alive, and with 3 members down on the side of Vivid, this should be the lead going their way.
Looks like finally getting an opportunity to clear that checkpoint. They will. The Rainmaker carrier does go down though, so it is going to give Vivid the main advantage, but that's not going to stop Tuki from getting that pop and getting a few more points.
Yeah, and able to get that all the way down to 41 remaining. So that is starting to get a little bit more comfortable, but it's still too close to call with 2 minutes to go. Rissa trying to establish a lot of paint for their teammates to work with, but Mr. Z gonna snipe her down. And now Mr. Z, oh man, that's gonna actually be 3 down on the side of Vivid. Mr. Z looking to get this last pick to completely open it up for the rest of their team, but it's not gonna quite get it yet. Tuki too, though, a little bit in a comfortable spot right now. They don't need to force any plays to happen. They can just hang back, build up some of those specials as they have 3 online right now, and get ready to put together a solid defense.
I really like what I'm seeing from Golan right now. They were pretty much alone on that left side and were able to not quite get a ton of kills, but able to deter Tuki from pushing there. And then their team was able to push in and get kills. So now the map is just kind of even right now. Tuki's going to get the pop yet again, but Vivid's right there on their box trying to contest this mid and get their push going. But it's going to be Zeal just backing up right now, finally popping. We have crab on crab violence right now. Is the Rainmaker just going to reset the middle?
Oh, and it looks like both crabs concede to one another, realizing that they weren't in the quite advantageous position there to secure the win. So gonna play it safe instead. Tuki 2 though, going down 3 members, an opportunity for Vivid to get their first checkpoint. Eclipse playing up ahead, opening the opportunity for their team to get to the checkpoint, but no, it's gonna get shut down just before. And Vivid loses 3 members. The last member gonna have to back up there. So that push is just about over. 30 seconds to play, and Vivid missing a big opportunity there to get the checkpoint.
No, Tuki denied Vivid of that checkpoint right there. Like, man, they just such a clutch play right there, because now, you know, getting this push here at the end, they're still gonna have to clear that checkpoint. So it's gonna give, even though Tuki's down a bit, they're gonna have time to respawn just by virtue of having that Rainmaker reset. So they will get that checkpoint. 1 does go down, 2 go down the side of it. We get the roller kill, and bad situation right now for Vivid. Tuki's just trying to lock this out. They get a pop again, and Tuki is gonna take the set. Tuki 2, sorry, is gonna take the set against Vivid with a nice 2-0.
Oh, Tuki 2 doing it even better than Tuki 1 could have. Winning that set. Yes, indeed. Vivid though, they played pretty well there. I think it's just it was just too little, too late. Able to break through that checkpoint at the last moment, but just couldn't keep the numbers up. And your life is your most important asset in this game. So Tuki 2 will move on to the next round in Great White Bracket. And they will be taking on Rising Wave, a team that we've been talking about a little bit, Greg Guru.
Yeah. Again, good game by Vivid, good set. They're definitely, again, a brand new team. They definitely have the pedigree to be good, but just not quite their night tonight. And you kind of saw, I think, Tuki a little more familiar with each other playing together. And what really helped them get that push was after they cleared the checkpoint, even though they had a man down, they were still able to get the pop and then get a secondary push with that pop. And it just seemed like the entire game, Tuki just was able to get the Rainmaker pop every single time that they needed it. And, those little things can matter in such a low-scoring game like that. So interested to see how they are able to match up against Rising Wave.
Yeah, that would be one to keep an eye on for sure in the bracket. But that is going to do it for us for now. It has been an absolute pleasure to take you all through this first half of the tournament. But there's still 3 more rounds to go, and it's going to be an absolutely fantastic finish. As we sign off here, Greg, where can the people of our chat find you?
Well, there's my Twitter. What is it, Greg? And shout out to the Jeopardy fans out there. And you can find me on Twitch at Gregory Live. And I'll be streaming a game called Splatoon 3. And how about you, DRF? Where can they find you?
You can go ahead and find me on Twitter at DRF_Splatoon and on Twitch at TritonDRF.
Awesome. Well, it's been great having you. And again, everybody, stick around. Plenty more tournaments to come.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Swim or Sink 88. I am DJM and I'm joined by Skip and we're diving straight into this match.
That we are. We got two very exciting teams for you here. Salute versus Legato. Both of these teams having stuck around so far for Splatoon 3, playing many SOSs so far in the past month and a half. Salute being the first to cap the zone, but that X-Flow with all of these corners that Salute is going to have to deal with is going to be quite a pain on the side of Legato.
Absolutely, and we're seeing Kuvia here with that expo just trying to push out the members of Salute. Salute being 2 players down, which is going to give Legato a very easy push to start off this game. Kuvia does throw out that Inkstorm, which is again going to push the opponents away from the zone, giving Legato more and more points just to tick, tick, tock down there. We're seeing that Booyah Bomb does get taken out before they're able to pop it up. Great pick there from the sniper there. And with 3 players down again, Legato is going to be able to push back, and Salute is now going to have a chance to get that counter push going, easily get rid of that penalty there, and tick down on their points.
Immediately, the first thing that I noticed the difference here is between Legato and Salute's comp. That comp on the side of Legato is very heavily chip-based. I say that as their Zuka player does go down, but between that machine and the X-Blow and the missiles from the flings, that is so much chip and all of these tight corners on either side of Car that Salute is going to contend with as they get closer and closer to pulling lead here.
And there we go. That is that lead switch, but very much both teams are fighting over that zone. And there you go. The zone just flips back over to Legato. They need to get rid of that 30-point penalty, though, before they start getting any of those points taken down. But there we go. Zone into neutral again. Kuvia here with that Expo again does get spotted by the Wave Breaker. And they're going to get caught up by Chase there. Chase taking them down, and now 3 players, a wipeout against Legato.
Legato's comp requires such a high degree of stability. They need to get in there, they need to get Kuvia set up, and they need to be able to allow Kras to be able to get those missiles that they are going to need for a lock and a hold. But that's entry is going to be extremely difficult with Kalana there on that car with that leader. Prophet there ready to shark out any drop as well as Legato tries and brute force this re-engagement here, popping Booyah, most likely on that sniper.
And they're just getting pushed further and further around. Just the Trizuka and the Booyah Bomb just constantly moving them around. And then that has allowed them to flip the zone again to Legato's favor. Again, they've got to get rid of that penalty. And we're seeing that they do have, Kuvia has that Inkstorm at the ready. They're just looking to find a nice opportunity to use that. Kalana there over there with the E-leader, needing to find a position. And there we go, that Trizuka is again going to push away Kuvia with that X-Flow away from the zone, and that's going to allow Salute to head closer in, allow them to send the zone to neutral, and then take it into control with a player down on both sides.
Prophet there getting quite a bit of courage, trying to work their way up towards that Expo on that right side, but does get shut down. We do see Salute with 1 member down as Prophet tries to take the swing, but Sugster and Kras coming back in for that fight. We get a Booyah on that left card. This is a cap for Legato, but they have really yet to clear those penalty points. Every single time, just as they do, they lose control of the zone. That leader here going to be absolutely detrimental in terms of situating a lockout here. The longer Kalana is up on Snipe, the easier Salute's re-access will be, and there it is, the recap. Salute maintaining this lead for the next team fight.
Absolutely. We're really seeing that the backline of these 2 teams are really making an extreme impact onto when are these teams able to push, when are these teams able to make a comeback. Chase here trying to get up and close into Gray's face, does not able to do so though as they get taken out by their machine, as well as a Booyah Bomb is going to get Kalana off, and that's going to be incredible there for Legato to be able to crunch down some of those penalties and maybe even take back the lead. An incredible use of Booyah Bomb and Fizzy there.
I'm really upset by this because Salute was just about to clear lead, but going forward for the picks just not worth it. But in contrast to that, Legato doing the exact same thing. They get the recap into the zone, they try and push up, but they feed into it just a little bit too quickly. Here we go with Lip Blue up on that left side, but Salute has cleared that penalty point as they lose their gal. The missiles coming out here, Kalana getting that snipe before the missiles could even fire. 2 down on the side of Salute, but both of those 2 having the specials ready to go. Can Legato set up and hold this and breathe.
Looks like they're going to have to do extremely well because they've got 10 seconds remaining, but they're just pushing them away from the zone. Apple trying to head into the zone, but with every player gunning on them, they're going to send it into neutral, but is it going to be enough? They're just holding it. Their zone is now in neutral again. Just everyone shooting paint over the zone. Kuvi here with the Expo just constantly throwing those buckets over, but they need to flip it now. Well, it was flipped. It was flipped, but into Salute's favor, and that's going to give Salute the first game of this set.
A tale of two comps. Honestly, with the more a Splatoon 2 as comp of we are running our shooters, all of these weapons can function independently comp on the side of Salute versus the very different and emerging chip-based comp that Splatoon 3 is enabling. Legato pushing up a little bit too far for what their comp was situating to do with that sort of comp. It's critical to let your opponents feed into you. You can't take space before it's ready, and if you're going to take space, you have to do it together. And I do believe that that is what brought Legato's fate down in that last game. Curious to see how that's going to change within Undertow Spillway, given that chip comps do very well here because mid funnels you into the opposing team. Do you expect any changes here, DJam?
I'm expecting we're gonna likely still see though that E-Leader and Explosher because they can be really good on this map. Because E-Leader, there's a lot of good spots. You've obviously got that mid sniper position, but then you've also got a good backline sniper position. And Expo, because you've got that long hump in the middle. I don't know what we're calling that technical term here in competitive.
Fine.
I'm just gonna call it a hump.
Yeah.
It's really good at lobbing those shots, especially on a tower. Because, you know, any slosher, any explode, anything where you can really get that fall off as well as that exploding damage. And you get that from an explosion. And it's going to be really critical to see. And there we go. Changing it out with a splatter scope, but also a heavy. So a little bit of, my predictions are a little bit off. But anyway, here we go into game 2 of this set.
Both of these teams very quickly going for mid, trying to vie for that tower. Noteworthy, neither team running a blaster here. That Machine is going to fill the closest niche to that as it can on the side of Legato. Machine do be funny on this map, though.
It really can be. Again, that hump is really the key point of this map. Kaluna here with that splatter scope. Just going to try and find some players to get. And here we go. Legato does have the tower first. Is going to clear the first checkpoint there, but Kaluna is going to clear that Machine away from the tower. And Prophet here just trying to find some picks. Does have their crab at the ready. Sees a player, but no, they're not going up there. Just trying to find any other player, as well as that Inkback as well is going to hop onto the tower. Is going to secure them that checkpoint, as well as secure them the lead.
Legato going 3 down in the process here as that tower does reach that second checkpoint. There is no one on the side of Legato on that top right area in order to be able to bring this to a stall. We have all 3 members of Legato there coming out of a spawn caught in that killer whale. That second checkpoint is broken rather freely. Tuxer coming on the right side is going to get shut down. This is a continued hold for Salute here at the final checkpoint.
And that was a really good spot. Oh, and from Litbu getting that splat as well. That is that third checkpoint cleared. Salute now has every single checkpoint cleared. Even though they Thurster just briefly hopped onto the tower there. It's not going to be enough as Salute hops back onto the tower. It's just going to keep on getting those points. But there we go. No. They've cleared the tower with 2 players down. That is going to be now the opportunity now for Legato to try and get some counter picks going, trying to get some pushes down. But with a wipeout, I might have commentator's curse here, Skep. I don't know.
Well, here we go. The tower working its way right back to where it was before. Will Salute be able to extend their lead here? We do see Chase sneaking up that ledge in order to be able to try and create an opportunity here. Not able to get any picks and taking the wise choice to fall back. Sadly, they do lose their charger in the process as the Zuka comes out. Will this be a defense for Legato? Because they are going to be able to take this right side here. And Kuvia in the perfect push denying position here, trying to keep Salute from maintaining this right side as they go 2 down. Regardless of how scrappy that was there, that is a defense for Legato, only having Lip Blue left standing.
Absolutely, and now we're seeing that tower's finally trying to go back to the middle, but Salute is just not letting up at all, hopping back on the tower, keeping up that pressure, using that Trizuka to really push and displace those members. Legato does have that big bubble at the ready, does use it up. That's going to give them a little bit of defense there, but A manages to stop the Tower 3. One player left alive on the side of Salute, and that is going to be a soft wipe, allowing Legato to now regain some turf control over the middle and regain that access to the mid and start to get their own counter push going.
Here we go. Finally, Legato having the first opportunity to push that they've had this whole game. They do lose Liproot in that process. That Junior with the bubble are going to take a lot out of them. As I say that, the machine goes down as well. Legato losing the opportunity to push here as they lose the heavy. They get the pick on Apple, but is it worth it? Lipblue left standing, but very quickly shut down by Chase as the machine comes out of the spot. It is a full stagger on the side of Legato. That stagger going to be benefiting Salute with a minute and a half left in this game. Legato needs mid, and they need it now.
They really do. Gray does have that Booyah Bomb at the ready and is going to allow them to push back with Salute now 3 players down. Again, this is going to give this their opportunity to get that counter push going. They really need to get this counter push going now with a minute left on the clock. You don't have long if you want to get lead. You don't have long if you want to clear those checkpoints, and you don't have long if you want to get those picks.
My main concern here is Legato's inability to hold stable ground. We do see Tugster pushing up, but going to lose that 1v1 to Apple. Prophet caught there without any paint support, going to go down, but Liproot, these trades back and forth, these trades continuously benefiting Salute as they try and work the time off of this clock. It is Legato with their feet to the fire, trying to break force the second checkpoint, and this may just be it. They finally have Salute in a stagger. That second checkpoint has fallen.
And there we go. That is what they're needing to see. Second checkpoint cleared. Only one more checkpoint needed until they're in the home stretch, and they're right at it now. And we're seeing that Legato is getting those picks. They are moving around. They've cleared the third checkpoint. They're heading straight in. 3 players down. 3, 2, 1. And that is a game. Switch. Whoa. What a way to turn the tables. Like, Salute had such a dominating control over, like, 75% of that game. And then Legato, just at the end, just take, like, in one fell push, just sweeping it out and getting that KO, sending the score to 1-1.
Yeah, and this is now SOS for those who are just tuning in for the first time since the change. But SOS is now rocking with a best of 3 format, given that we've switched to 16 teams per bracket. Still rocking with that single elimination style, but what this is going to do is put additional pressure on both of these teams, because we in the West do not like playing our best of 3s. That's going to become more common with all these teams registering for tournaments and just simply not having the time for this on a weeknight. They're finishing it out on Rainmaker Inkblot, which is a map mode combination that was not very fun in Splatoon 2, but we are rocking with it here in Splatoon 3, the new specials, the new weapons, changing our options. I want to add, DJ, that both of these teams have been doing very well so far in Splatoon 3. Legato having made multiple top cuts that I know because I've seen their Twitter since launch, but both of these teams making back-to-back great white runs here, or at least qualifying for it. Salute having made Great White in SOS 82 as well as SOS 84, third place in that, and Legato making Great White in SOS 83, but following the Hammerhead more recently in SOS 87. So both of these teams putting in the work and putting in the hours, and here they are at Game 3 with everything on the line.
It really comes to show, like, you're giving me that backlog information, and just from seeing these games, I can really see how these two teams are matching up. Like, we've seen both these games being back and forth. The score is at 1-1. It literally could not be more even as we dive into this third game of the set. Rainmaker on Inkblot Art Academy, Legato versus Salute. And it's going to be really interesting to see, because, again, this Rainmaker has only one checkpoint compared to a lot of other Rainmaker maps.
And it requires you to swing past that left side and most likely play that uninkable or the rail. You can squid surge off of the wall to be able to get to plat, but that, you know, under the heat of the moment, will they be able to accomplish it? As I say this, Legato very quickly getting 3 picks on the side of Salute. Oh, in a 1v1 situation, it's the Charger versus the Shot.
It's a very interesting way to start off this match. Legato getting that initial pop, which did allow them to get that turf coverage, but then getting shut down. Both teams, 3 members down, has allowed it to go back into more of a neutral state now. Both teams eyeing out to try and see, we need to get these specials out. We need to get this turf going. And we're seeing now Salute has gotten a little bit of a counter push here, as we're seeing that Killer Whale is going to push away some members, and Salute just absolutely slam dunking that first checkpoint down with 2 players down, 3 players down on the side of Legato.
That first checkpoint being all the way back at the 70s, and here come the big points on that plat. Will they be able to push towards that 3rd checkpoint, get up that rank? No, Tuxter coming in with the hero play, getting the Rainmaker as well as Profit on that splash. It is just Apple, but Apple goes down. Legato, this checkpoint is free.
And there we go, free as it can be. Checkpoint cleared. It is now back to a solid game of classic Rainmaker. No checkpoints, no bars. Both teams are now trying to see, where can we get these picks, where can we get these specials going, as Legato's holding onto the Rainmaker, desperately looking to take lead. And there we go, taking the lead. Only 3 points separating these players, but in Rainmaker, once you take the lead, it does not matter how many points your opponents have.
It's 2v2. They get the pop. Gray's going to grab the fish, but unable to bring it any further. Legato having forced themselves into a stagger here with Kalana up on that top right, and Tuxter having no choice but to fall back. Profit there, maintaining control of plat. Salute can let it breathe for a moment, especially if they get this pick here. Huge, the pick on Tuxter. 3v3, but Profit working their way up, going to trade out with Kuvia. They do have control of the Rainmaker, but it is very unlikely at this point that they are going to be able to try and bring that lead back. There it is, the shot coming in from Lit Blue.
Absolutely good pick there, just getting these splats, just getting that taken down. The score, players 2-2 on the field then, and really allowing them to just stall that Rainmaker, getting it in the middle. And we really need to see Salute needs to get their push going now. And 2 players down on the side of Legato, that's going to give them that opportunity to get that Rainmaker getting further down. Gray here has the Booyah Bomb at the ring, but it's critically taken down by Apple's 52 gal. That is absolutely essential, as there's no longer any Booyah Bomb to defend, and that is another lead switch in the favor of Salute, and they're just getting a few more points on the board, getting it all the way down to 20, but Legato now has control over their plat. They're taking these picks, they're taking these splats, but a trade, a good defense there from, I can't remember, from the heavy getting onto Apple, but that's not going to be enough for Salute to make that push go any further, and that Rainmaker is going to reset back to the center of the map with 1:30 left on the clock.
It is back and forth, but will Legato be able to bring it around town, all the way onto that plat, onto that ramp? And the question of who is going to win this game is who will be able to crawl up that ramp the furthest. Here we go with Legato having 2 specials, make that 3 online, with Salute having none to their name and barely close to it. Kuvia up on that right side trying to get some paint support, but the rest of the fight is happening on that left side. Here comes Wavebreaker, but as Kuvia picks it up, going to be shut down by Chase here. That is a trade out, a 3v3 situation with Legato having control of mid, but will they be able to push with all of these specials burning from Salute?
It's really it's going to be anyone's game, really. Rainmaker's still in the middle. Splatling getting that splat and just trying to get that turf going. 2 players down on the side of Legato, which is not going to be a good position for them to push. They really need to get their specials going, really need to get those splats going, and there is a splat. 2 players down on the side of Salute, make that 3. This is now the critical moment for Legato to get their push going. Squid rolling as they grab that Rainmaker, just giving that little bit of speed boost there and just trying to find, but no, they're taken down in a trade situation against the splatter shot now. 10 seconds remaining. They're really going to try and find any opportunity they need. Profit here, heading straight for the Rainmaker, but they're able to avoid them, but just trying to find Killer Whale. Shots coming out in every direction, avoiding the Killer Whale. Apple there trying to find, but the Rainmaker's the last one alive, and Apple's gonna shut them down as they're just constantly trying to run away, but it is not enough, as that is game 3 going to Salute.
Absolutely. They will be moving forward further down the bracket, but congratulations to Legato for making their deepest run in SOS so far in Splatoon 3, showing that they are continuously on the grind and continuously improving. Salute! Can they do better than their 3rd place in Great White? We will find that out tonight, DJ.
We really will, and it's going to be absolutely exciting to see what Salute is going to pull out later during this tournament. What a great set to start off our set today. Like, I came in knowing, yes, we're heading into the final 3 rounds, or however many rounds it is. I'm pretty sure it's 3 matches.
3, yeah.
3, yes. And like, I know it's going to be tight, but I did not know it was going to be this tight.
Well, that it will be. I mean, with these best of 3 sets, teams have a lot of more pressure on their backs. But without further ado, we will be right back after a brief break so we can do our research back here in the lab. Stay tuned, everyone.
Don't go anywhere.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to SOS 88, also known as the Snowman edition of SOS. Nobody told me that, I just made it up myself. My name is Skepidillions, and I am here with the wonderful DJam98. DJam, how are you doing? After a very short break.
I'm doing all right. I was responding, and then he said after a short break. Wait, do I say it now? Do I go now?
Yeah, you do.
Do you know what is happening now, though?
Yes, I do, actually. I am very informed as to what is happening right now. It is Rising Wave for real this time, and Smoothie duking it out on Clam Blitz, Mahi, Zones, Mincemeat, and TC Gorge, getting right into it. I didn't even get to read through their stats, DJ.
I know, we got so much info to get through in so little time as we just are going straight into Game 1, Rising Wave versus Smoothie, Clam Blitz, Mahi Resort, a well-beloved map in Splatoon 3, am I right?
It is. I've always had bad taste in maps, that being said. I personally very much like Mahi, except on clams. So, that's what we're looking at.
This is exactly what you're getting up. Dan getting right up and close into Rising Wave's face, but gets taken out by the Splattershot Jr. The key thing to notice about Mahi is that it's extremely clams map, so you're going to see a lot of scrappy fights, particularly as we're seeing two players down on both sides right now. Boopy getting that spot with the crab tank gets then immediately taken out by the splatter scope as they're just trying to get that pick, and there we go. That is the first basket popped as Nikaido is just having that ink vac ready, looking to find those players, and there we go. That is that ink vac shot it off, but Dan there with that ink seeker is going to stop any players getting that splat onto Nick with the 52 cal as well. Ooh. And that is a wipeout in retaliation.
Smoothie is almost able to form, and here we go. There comes that ball. Bala still up there, though, with more clams ready to go. Going to Booyah in here with that clam, chucking that, getting a pick here, so this is a continued push. The clam is dug. Smoothie getting it below 50. Means that we're going to start to see some map changes here. Smoothie having to deal with that near wipe, though, as Rising Wave regains purchase of mid.
That's really the critical thing about Mahi in particular, is that really if you want to get these pushes going, you need to get pretty much a 3 down or a wipeout, just because of how small this map is and how quickly it is to move around. And we're seeing Nikaido here does have the ink vac and the football at the ready. They've also got one other football right next to them, as well as the pity as well. So they've got of clams ready to make a move, and there we go. They've taken the lead and pushed it all the way down to 30, as that they're just constantly coming down, but with 3 players down. But Nick isn't letting up at all, taking those players down. There might be 3 players down, but Nick isn't making this easy at all. Coming in with the jump, are they going to be able to get that in? No, they're able to stop them just in the nick of time, as that basket does close up and Smoothie regains some turf control over the mid.
There we go. Rising Wave showing why they are so successful and so likely to win. I'll add that Rising Wave having run 2 SOSs so far in the fight. Oh! Okay, Haya, we see you. Okay, here we go. Smoothie taking the lead right back around as Rising Wave is 2 down, but will they be able to bleed out this push?
They're really going to need to go in. They need a few more clams, but there we go. The player with the clams was taken out, and they've got only 2 more clams need to go into the basket. They're just trying to find these picks, trying to find the clams as well, but no, with no clams in anyone's hands, that is going to be that basket closed, and a 35-point penalty is going to go to the basket.
And the question now is, Rising Wave, can they manage to get up that ramp in order to push with the 2 minutes that they have remaining? Smoothie still fighting for mid, though. That's going to keep Rising Wave out of their hair for at least a little while. But that bubble that they have in the hands of Cam, that was so successful last time around. And here it is. That's the bubble that I just mentioned.
There's the bubble, but no!
They don't get in! That's 3 down! Smoothie having defended here. Rising Wave losing one of their last opportunities to be able to get in. Will they be able to form another clam and break in?
That was such the misadventure there. Just narrowly not being inside the bubble on that landing has really allowed Smoothie to just absolutely stop any sort of movement coming out from Rising Wave. Smoothie now just trying to get some picks, but Rising Wave is not letting up at all as they're now heading towards the basket. There's that power climb of the raid, but Boopy giving that boop onto the player, taking 1 down, taking 2 down. That is a critical play there, but also just picking up another power climb there. And Cam there just looking to head into the enemy's basket. There we go. The bubbler does come out and does going to take a player down. Nick jumping over to the basket and does get that in, but a wipeout. And then just no, they're 1 clam shy.
What is the
And that
bubble
is-
still up?
No, so close right now. But literally, 1 clan difference could have made the difference there, but with only 20 seconds remaining, Rising Wave is going to need to get clams, and then need to get it clams quickly as they only have 3 in their possession right now.
Do they have a pity though? No, it doesn't look like they do, so they need to physically form. They do have 8 clams. There's so many clams in mid. That's the magic of Mahi Mahi Resorts, is all those clams right on top of each other. We got the Vac working their way up to basket. The Nikaido gets a pick. The clam does drop though. It is just Cam there with that junior. They need to be able to dunk
No.
this clam and get another one in, and that is GG's. Smoothie maintaining onto that lead by the narrowest of margins and getting 1 more pick on Nick for good measure.
no. Wow, that was a incredible end game right now. Right there, only on Smoothie, the only player remaining was that blaster, but managing to take down the junior really was like, hey, you're not getting this push. We're taking game 1 of this set.
Oh my, that final minute and a half there left me rather breathless watching Rising Wave trying to crawl their way back into under that basket and nearly doing so, losing that game by just a single clam. It does hurt your heart, but these are 2 very successful teams. Honestly, watching Smoothie is such a joy for me because this duo between Boopy and Haya that has been going on ever since Blush at LTC 2022, which was a LAN held in Austin, Texas, if you didn't know, where they did get 2nd place. So watching these 2 players climb the ladder and vie against such top level teams such as not FT Win at said land, I'm very curious as to where these players are going to go because they have made SOS Great White time and time and time again and won it as well. So whether or not they're going to be successful here in Splatoon 3, I'm curious to see it, especially with Haya on that blaster compared to Splash that they were playing a lot in Splatoon 2. Rising Wave, though, as I mentioned during that last game, having won 2 out of the 5 SOSs that we've had so far of Splatoon 3, being SOS 84 and 85, but 85 with the Lex subbing in there, who's a very talented player, and going 2nd in SOS 87, which is the one before this one. The first one was 64 teams. So both
literally
of these
last
teams,
week.
Yeah, I'm not expecting either team here to give any to let off the gas in the slightest moving forward towards mincemeat zones. I will say though, I am curious as to how Haya's blaster is going to perform here, given the chip that could benefit it in similar way that we saw to Legato's Explo.
Yeah, what's really interesting about seeing Splat Zone's mincemeat coming back again is they really use that blaster. Splat Zone's mincemeat is really easy to lock out players, especially when you get those fall-off weapons and those exploding weapons, but we're not seeing any blaster come in here at all. Rising Wave against Smoothie as they both head towards the center of this zone. Mincemeat. Splat zones, we're going to see immediately Smoothie just take the zone.
Yeah, but that cap very quickly going to lose the ground, as is done on Mincemeat. We have Morsa trying to get Boopy up on that left side, but ducking and weaving in that Crab. Crab v Crab for mid, but Smoothie for now maintaining control of that zone. Just as I say it, Rising Wave comes in for the cap. Something I find interesting here about Smoothie's comp is that VDS, given how useful Wave Breaker can be. Putting that behind either car can be just a pain to handle, as well as putting it on top of grates there can make those waves break on top of both cars and the zone. So a very powerful weapon choice and special choice here on Mincemeat zones in particular.
Absolutely. And we're just seeing how much of those wave breakers it's literally hopscotch on the zone right now. Both wave breakers popped at the same time. Dan narrowly avoiding that spot down, but Nick knows they're there. They're just squid rolling, and that is a trade between those two players. A really good fight off there, but still Rising Wave does have control over the zone as two players are down on the side of Smoothie. Make that 3 as they're just trying to find these picks. E-leader here seeing that can I find someone? Can I see someone? I'm just bouncing up and down trying to find someone. And they're like, they're looking, and they're just, but also the pressure on just having a E-leader just going straight down the middle of the map puts a lot of pressure onto Smoothie. They're literally saying, hey, there's an E-leader here, you're not making a push.
Yeah, and then we quickly lose Haya on the VDS as Rising Wave gets closer and closer to that KO. Morsa and Cam here going to be able to maintain the zone, but will they? Ooh, as I say that, Smoothie comes in for the cap. Are they going to lose it really quickly? Because that Booyah Bomb is coming out. We have Boopy up on that left stack. Morsa knows that they're there. Smoothie having cleared the penalty, but for a prolonged scrap, losing Haya again. Rising Wave not having lost a member in about a minute. Smoothie goes 2 down. This is looking extremely dominant for Rising Wave as they corner the members of Smoothie by that left car and force a jump out, getting 1 pick.
Oh no, the DC does occur, but because we're past the 50-point mark, this match will go on. This could be the opportunity now for Smoothie to get that game.
They actually need to stop playing because they're the team in the lead. If they stop playing, they do get that replay. We have some rule readers. Rising Wave read the rules. No shot. There was a team last week that didn't know that and played it out, believing that it was the traditional rules, but because Splatoon 3 has a lot more bugs, it was decided not to penalize the winning team in the event of a DC, if they're the one with the DC. So
run this match out, or they gonna end it?
Yeah.
They could just end it if
don't know the hotkey.
The hotkey is everything. That's what it is. I've had to do it now. Which is sad. There we go. Yeah, let's go. They figured out the secret, the secret claw grip to push everything.
My goodness, it was Nick with the DC there, wasn't it?
I don't.
Oh, it's okay.
I can't remember.
I won't put that pressure on
actually,
you.
the other thing that's actually interesting with Splatoon 3, if you're trying to find who's the DC player, you can't easily find it anymore because not only in Splatoon 2, it just gave you that
the weapon icon, yeah.
But now it's just a flat grey face. So
and you can't see
as long
it
as you
at
memorize who the comp was, or you can look in the stat screen if you're not a spectator.
Yeah, if you open map, that'll show it.
Yeah, but if you're a spectator,
that's so
unfortunately, you can't see it.
Too. It was honestly Rising Wave with that leader in the hands of Nikaido doing a really fantastic job in terms of locking out the members of Smoothie and playing life and prolonged engagements. That was why they were able to get the recap there before the DC occurred. We had Rising Wave clearing the penalty, getting down to 22 remaining, if I recall correctly, holding that. Smoothie coming in and getting the cap, but then Rising Wave just not going down and living the next team fight, and then just right for the recap. So whether or not they can do that again will determine whether or not they win this, or whether or not we see a sort of replay effect where Smoothie comes in a little bit smarter.
It really is, and having that massive playoff at this before in the previous game is really allowed these teams to know, this is how we might play. But straight off the bat, Smoothie goes 3 players down, and Rising Wave just gets into the dominant field once again. Learning how the teams goes both ways, and another pick from Nikaido there onto Haya is really going to set the scene there as Nikaido just literally in the center of the field with that E-leader. 2 players down again on the side of Smoothie. They're just really pushing them back, and that lockout is just beginning to start.
Really using that charge hold that leader did not have in Splatoon 2 to be able to duck and weave there on that left car. I'll add for Nikaido in particular, opening left instead of opening right probably would allow that initial engagement to go so differently. Rising Wave, though, going 2 down as Smoothie comes in for the cap here. They lose their machine in the process, but getting 3 down on Rising Wave here could be very huge for them. Look at this paint control that they have so quickly.
What a great way to just retake, and it's really becoming a mirror match of the match we just had, as Rising Wave did have that very early lead, but then Smoothie just taking control and giving that massive penalty, really a reflection of the match we just had. But this time, Smoothie's holding the zone for a bit longer. They know where they might have messed up last time, and they're not falling short on that at all, as they're already down to 40 points remaining. Haya using those dodge rolls very wisely, just avoiding every single shot that machine is getting. But a trade between them and Cam is going to set the score back down as Rising Wave takes the zone back into their favor.
Boopy is still alive, though, with this 1v1 with Nick over on that right car. Not going down there is huge for Smoothie, because now they have enabled their retake as Rising Wave gets closer to clearing that penalty point. The Crab coming out on that left side of the map, not going to find anyone right away, but really focusing that left step where all the members of Rising Wave are grouped up. That is a recap for Smoothie and a prolonged penalty there on Rising Wave in a 3v3 situation. Rising Wave is going to have to take a chill pill for a moment.
They really are, and it's just looking absolutely scrap master in mincemeat, as just that zone stayed in the neutral for so long, goes back into neutral and flips again. All players in the mid right now trying to find every single pick they can, as a player does go down on the side of Smoothie, another player as well, and they're just trying to hold out. Nick here holding onto that wall, just trying to find any opportunity they can to find those players, find those picks, and they're just gaining those specials as well, just so they can push away the members of Smoothie and try and retake that lead Rising Wave previously had.
And here we go, Rising Wave with 10 penalty ticks remaining. That Booyah coming out, going to be able to maintain the zone, at least for now. We do have that bubble on the zone as well. The penalty is cleared. They need 5 points, but the Zuka coming out, getting the pick on Nikaido. The recap is there. It is 2 points remaining. Will Smoothie be able to cap? No. Yes. Oh my goodness. 1 point with a minute and a half left to go in this game. Both teams having a substantial penalty, but Rising Wave losing Cam.
What a critical zone flip there, and just critically giving Rising Wave that 39-point penalty, and they're just managing to hold on a tight rope's width there, and they're just trying to find, but that zone again is going to go into neutral, but with the members of Smoothie pushed back, that is going to allow Rising Wave to take back the zone and start to clear down that 30-point penalty with a minute left on the clock.
And here we go. It is a 4v3 situation. 20 ticks. Actual cheeky pick there on Bala from the Kaido. The bubble in the zone going to allow this leader to take some aggressive positions. We do know that Haya is coming on that right side. There are 3 ticks remaining. Here we go. Rising Wave has pulled lead. Will Smoothie be able to break back in and turn this around? Here we go with their Hail Mary, breaking into the zone, getting that cap, but losing their splash. And that's a DC on the side of Smoothie.
It really is, and with 2 more players down, that is going to be a lead, a zone flip again to the favor of Rising Wave, and they're just going to get rid of some of that penalty and just trying to find any of those players, just trying to make sure they don't come back into the zone. They want this game to be theirs. They want to set the score to 1-1. A few seconds remaining, but the zone goes into neutral. But with 2 players down, that is going to be the game going to Rising Wave again, setting the score to 1-1. What's some close games we've had here?
Oh man, 1-1 again. Both of these teams, whoever wins here, going on to the to grand finals. The pressure is on, right? For finally bringing it around the TC Scorched Gorge.
Yeah, TC Scorched Gorge are very different to the both Mahi and Mincemeat, because unlike both of those maps, this is a very wide map. You've got a massive mid ground, and you've got that actually no, that you don't have the massive pillar in the middle. It's like a mid-sized pillar in tower control, and you just very much, if you want to get early push going, you need to work your way around that pillar and get that turf control. Because turf control is essential in Splatoon if you've ever played it at all. And these players, they've certainly played it.
Scorch Gorge is interesting. Just from a layout perspective, because you have on TC that mid area is flattened, but you still have that snipe area underneath Garlic, I guess I want to call it. You know, the giant statue. That snipe is such a focal point for that tower as it shifts across the map into the enemy spawn. So the question for me is, how do both of these teams choose to deal with whoever is sitting on snipe? Because there is going to be someone there.
There always is. And we're seeing now interesting comp coming out from Smoothie having absolutely no backline there whatsoever. The largest range being the blaster. And then Rising Wave does have that E-Leader from the Kaido coming out again. Quite a similar comp returning from them. And they're just getting very much all heading straight into the middle. Obviously, with that E-Leader staying back, trying to find some. But Haya knows that E-Leader will do some damage, takes them out immediately out of the game.
I dig it. Haya on the blaster, very quickly getting up towards that right area, knowing that their team is in a fight, but having to prioritize Cam, who is rushing them down. Cam getting very quickly followed up by the rest of the team who won their engagement. Smoothie trying to begin a push here, but just quickly dropping players back and forth between both of these teams. This is an opening scrap.
It really is. That tower has not progressed very far at all, and we're seeing a very much of an even paint distribution over in mid right now. That both teams are just trying to find that little bit of advantage, but there we go. There's that advantage coming up. 3 players down the side of Smoothie as the Slushy Machine does take out the splatter shot as Rising Wave heads into the first checkpoint looking to clear it.
Here we go. Here comes that Booyah out from Rising Wave. Not getting a pick with it, but do use that to break that checkpoint. The tower shifting around the right side of the map, but there's no one on snipe. Rising Wave going 2 down. It's just Morsa in mid, getting a pick, but likely not going to be able to continue this here. As that crap is popped from Smoothie, that's a lot of smoke and no fire there. Not going to get any utility out of that.
Absolutely, but a really good decision to jump back out there, make sure they're keeping their special, keeping all their charge, and allowing them to get a little bit less of that respawn time. Right now, we're seeing Smoothie is trying to look for a position to start their push going, but they're really going to need to get those picks going, really need to use those specials, and really need to get every single player away from the tower if they want to get that push going.
And they need to get paint control in mid, because despite all of that fuss that just happened, we see a Rising Wave still having at least 50% of paint down in mid. They do lose their splash here, which is good for Smoothie. We can see that paint swapping directions, especially getting the pick on that splash on that left side of the map. This is looking very good for Smoothie as they work towards breaking this first checkpoint. Also keeping Nick off that snipe.
Really, it is absolutely critical there. And we're seeing that Booyah Bomb is also going to come out and go straight onto that snipe. It's going to push them away and going to allow them to clear that second checkpoint. And there we go, gets that splat onto Morsa as well. 2 players down on the side of Rising Wave. They're looking to head into the home stretch as they're heading up to the final checkpoint. Dan here does have that Trizook at the ready, is going to try and find any players that they can see to try and take them out, get them away from the tower, and there we go. That is game 3 going to Smoothie, heading them straight into the grand finals.
Smoothie bringing it back very quickly. Dare I say that their win condition is higher on that range blaster. Fantastic job there from everybody who played. We really saw Rising Wave come alive twice on Mincemeat Zones, but Smoothie putting in the work there on TC Gorge to bring that around from what looked very dominating on the side of Rising Wave. But once Smoothie was able to get control, once they were able to shift that right, and then with that Booyah on snipe, things started looking very hairy there for Rising Wave. So GG's Smoothie has a grand finals match ahead of them and a Rising Wave heading over to the third place match. Both of these teams doing a fantastic job. If Smoothie comes around and wins these finals, that'll be their best result so far for Splatoon 3 in terms of SOS. So we'll see what they get up to after a short break, everyone.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon. Next match will be Grand Finals Salute versus Smoothie. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Swim or Sink 88. I am DJM, and I'm joined in the grand finals with Skep.
Oh my god. Hi, my name is Skepidillions, and these two teams are Salute and Smoothie. Salute absolutely dominating tonight so far, making their deepest run in SOS for Splatoon 3 absolutely ever. So you love to see it. They're on fire, they're popping off, their VC is probably lit. And then we have Smoothie here, also making their deepest run so far in SOS, having gotten second place in Great White 86. That's 2 Great Whites ago. Whether or not they'll be able to top that is up to them in this best of 5 set.
Absolutely, and we're seeing both teams are dying to go straight for that Ramek in the middle, looking to get that pop, but it does see Smoothie does get that initial pop-off, but they do go a player down straight off the bat, but ball out, just trying to get that Rainmaker very initially, but with no one there to support them, they're going to be going straight down into the grates there, into that Rainmaker free zone, but gets picked out by Kaluna there with the charger.
They're getting a couple of really good picks. That's a delayed wipe on the side of Smoothie, so it is up to Salute to be able to grab this. But as Kalana running out of ink, they're not able to get the pop. Does get back, though. Finally getting the fish as Salute there tries to prep that right side, opting for a push of opportunity here, possibly through those grates. That Zuka getting a pick on another member of Salute. Kalana bringing that fish around that left side. Are they going to be able to dunk here? No! Gets picked just before the dunk.
That was a really good bait and switch though there from Salute, initially thinking, hey, we're gonna go for that checkpoint straight down the middle, but then having 2 players go over to the side and then bait them all the way, nearly managing to grab that checkpoint. However, was not enough as Bulla grabs the Rainmaker there, and now they're starting to make a bit of a counter push here. But I'm just noticing we have a little bit of a DC occurring.
Yeah, it seems that everyone took a moment to realize that as well, because we did see Kalana there take a couple of shots, but thankfully everyone knows the hotkey. Hopefully, everyone, and they bring that in so we can work our way towards a replay. Smoothie having a couple of DCs that last set. I hope we're not in for a DC riddled run here.
No, we love having, stable connections.
No.
We love having, matches that finish. And we love
No, we don't.
playing the game.
I don't know what you're talking about. I love DCs.
Oh, sorry. I'm not speaking for all of us. I apologize.
Yeah, how
some of us
dare
love
you.
having, some people love having, those disconnects and just finishing the match earlier than expected, especially if they were on the leading track. Like, I know you really love that, Skep, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I do love having to fight on for a 3v4 for my dear life, and I'm going to assume that Salute and Smoothie feel the exact same way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hashtag
Especially in the grand finals.
Yeah, don't you love that?
I know, I love it so.
We can have another
Nintendo,
incident.
please give it more. I want more. Totally.
Okay, it no longer sounds like you're being sarcastic. That sounded genuine. I am deeply concerned.
Yes. It's very real.
It is real, this match. Ayo.
Let's head back to the Sturgeon Shipyard. Rainmaker. We have in blue Salute and in yellow Smoothie. Let's get this rematch back underway.
There we go. Will there be any differences so far? We did see a Smoothie with a little bit of a kerfluffle there, and the last time having to drop that Rainmaker into the dead zone. Salute getting 2 very early picks on the members of Smoothie, Dan, and I believe that is Boopy having to fall back into pit there. As Salute brings us around the left side, but does get shut down by Bala.
That was a really critical pick there, but is not going to stop Smoothie at all from just getting that Rainmaker popped into their favor. just getting that spot onto Dan as well. Now they have the Trizuka at the ready, trying to look for some picks, but they're not going to be able to splat people who are on top of that rotator. Raymer gets picked up, but gets shut down immediately as Smoothie now pops the Rainmaker and trying to get some turf up, trying to get some picks going, and there we go. That is that splatter shot down as Haya gets this crab out and trying to get that splat onto Apple as well.
Sometimes I genuinely forget that we are the only ones that can see the names. So when I see the Zuka miss a shot, I'm like, don't they know they're right there? But it's like, no, no, they don't. We have spec cam and they don't. Ha
Yeah, we have permanent echolocator.
For real. We have Smoothie in control of Fish, looking for an opportunity to push, but here we go with Apple shirking that right side, trying to prevent a drop. Balla bringing it around the left, but will there be anyone from Salute to stop it? No, that is a checkpoint clear for Smoothie as Salute goes 2 down. We are in a 2v2 situation with both of those players by the Fish. Will Kalana and Co get the pick here? No, but Haya forced the fall back to mid.
But regardless, that is a critical spot. Clearing that checkpoint out, that's going to allow Smoothie to instantly make any sort of push they want, not needing to worry about those checkpoints as Haya goes bye-bye off the map, falling off the rotator as that Rainmaker resets back towards the mid, having a little bit of a skirmish here between Boopy and Prophet there. Boopy getting that splat as well as another one. Well, assisting there, and that's going to give Salute 3 members down as Smoothie is looking to make yet another push onto the map, maybe heading over to the left side again, but no, Rainmaker's over onto the right.
Oh, but what? Sorry, my brain had an absolute meltdown over the fact that they didn't clear the checkpoint, but then, yeah.
The checkpoint was already cleared. Yeah. Don't worry, we're not having those issues in a grand final point in the tournament, accidentally missing the checkpoint. Don't worry, I think we've cleared that hurdle now as Poopy gets that splat onto Prophet again and gets the splat onto Kaluna there. That Rainmaker is now going to go back into being no one's command as Boopy there gets that third splat onto Apple. Can they make that a fourth as they have that crab at the ready, getting that high ground and just trying to find those players. Another player down. Boopy now trying to find any players, trying to find those picks. That Rainmaker is now picked up into Smoothie as they're now heading closer and closer towards the goal.
Can we just appreciate how Boopy is on fire? Like the truest definition of the phrase on fire, except rhetorically speaking. At least 10 KA so far this game, and consistently instrumental in terms of facilitating Smoothie's pushes. Kalana bringing up the Fish, trying to bring it back in the mid, trying to buy themselves some time, but Smoothie having great control of their pit here. And you can see the spread here. We've got 2 in pit, we've got 1 in window, we got 1 top left. There is nowhere for Salute to push.
Absolutely, and Boopy getting 2 splats there, ending out in a trade there. But Haya also has that crab at the ready. 3 players down on the side of Salute is gonna allow Smoothie again to make another push. Salute still need to clear that first checkpoint at all, so Smoothie just keeps on keeping these pushes up. They're gonna have a really good set going into this grand finals. That Rainmaker is now gonna reset as 50 seconds is left on the clock.
Yeah, and here we go with that whale coming out on the side of Salute, but they need to not only stay alive, but they need to be able to get into mid. That's a delayed 2 down on the side of Salute with Smoothie in excellent control of mid here. We do see that crab coming out from the splash. Will they be able to use that to get an opportunity? The Zuka is ready on the side of Smoothie, ready to shut down any push. If Salute is able to get into mid, 2 down on the side of Smoothie, will they be able to grab? Prophet knows that there are 2 members of Smoothie up on that snipe and is going to go for them. Balla goes down. It is just Dan on that top right with that Zuka. They get the pick on the Fish. Will Salute be able to get the repot? Prophet is there in time, but not shooting at the barrier. That is a GG. Game 1 going to Smoothie.
What a great use of the Trizuka there, getting that splat onto the Rainmaker before it headed into overtime. That was an incredible pick out there from the splatter shot.
Especially given that Salute was 2 down. Whether or not they were going to be able to get the pop was contentious. Unfortunately, not able to do it, having to turn their attention away from that barrier because someone was running at them. Great job there, holding on to that Zuka for just a critical moment. When you see that Zuka ready to pop, you should be concerned. Regardless of who you are and what level you're playing at, that is a push stopper if they can land that shot.
Exactly. Yeah. The Trizuka is a special that can, if you're not ready for it, it can literally come flying out at you at nowhere. You cannot be expecting it, and suddenly you're dead. But it is one of the specials that requires some of the most aiming, probably second to maybe only the Inkjet. And so those two specials are very good at stopping players straight in their tracks.
Honestly, I'm concerned for it. It's one of those high skill ceiling specials, which is fantastic. That's what you want in terms of game design. But what I'm picturing is like Kiver or Shaq or Kyo playing that Zuka a year from now. There are just gonna become people that become so insane with it, and like right now we're seeing baby Zooks. Don't get me wrong, people are good at it. That's incredible that you can land a shot like that. That being said, people are gonna be layering shots, shooting one up at the sky, one below. Like, I'm terrified for what Zuka is going to become.
It really is like I was about to say the sky is the ceiling, but that's not right. As we dive into game 2 of this set, Eel Tail, Clam Blitz. Let's see what these two teams are bringing out to the battle as Kaluna immediately getting that splat onto Bola.
And you know what? We did get some data from that previous game. Boopy having gone with 14 kills and 6 assists. Absolutely insane. Will they be able to keep up the pressure here on Eel Tail Clams?
Only time will tell, as we're seeing Salute here is trying to get that very early push-off going, but with only 7 clams in possession and 2 players left alive, that is going to be the end to that push as 3 members go down on the side of Salute. That's going to allow Smoothie to regain some of that turf and get some clams onto the field, but again, they're 2 players down as well, so they're going to need to find those picks, need to find that turf and regain some of that special as they have to get these pushes going.
And here we go with Salute maintaining control of that choke point, which is where Smoothie is going to need to break through in order to be able to push. A minute having passed in this game, Smoothie having control of the clam economy. Salute going 2 down in a 3v2 situation. Will Smoothie be able to push off this? They need to get past this choke point, and look at Apple and Kalana in terms of how they were split out between that top right and top left. Excellent defense there. Smoothie going to be able to take it slow here, but unfortunately losing Boopy on that splash.
Indeed. They're just trying to find these picks, trying to find these ways to get in. Apple here looking to get push forward with their weapon here, and they're just trying to get these splats, trying to get this turf, but they're just getting turf, getting covered straight back, hiding in the corner of that equal, just getting that jump out to not so safe.
Oh my god!
They survived!
They don't.
Okay, you had my hopes up for a very brief moment as one clam goes in and one goes missing. As they now, Smoothie gets those clams and getting all the way down to 51, a very good early lead. But with 3 players down, that is the end of the first push coming out from Smoothie.
Chase and Boopy trading there in mid, so we're back in a 3v situation, but this time it is Salute that has control of mid. Smoothie going to have to break back in as soon as they have 4 members online. Salute has enough clams to push. They have that power clam ready to go. They are crabbing that top left. This is an absolutely dominant position for this crab in terms of enabling teammates to break past this choke point. We have 2 members of Smoothie on that plat, but the clam exchanging hands. Apple getting the pick on that shot there, trying to go for Haya, unable to. The wall coming out in time as Haya swings that corner. Salute's push having fizzled out with only Kalana having to fall back all the way towards their plat.
What some great picks there coming out from the side of Smoothie. That's really stopped that offensive movement straight in their tracks and allowed Smoothie to regain that clam economy. You're seeing that they're holding a possession of 21 clams there as they do pop that barrier. The player going down, but only one player. Zulgada allowed some team members to go and push towards Bulla. does have those clams there and looking to head towards the basket. They're not going to be able to get any. Oh, one clam goes in. A few. Those clams are going in. They're just trying to get those clams in. I don't know who got them in. Dan getting a few more clams all the way down to 31. But that might be the end of that push as 2 players are left alive on the side of Smoothie as Salute is now looking to get some clams of their own and get that turf coming back so they can get a push started on their own side.
You know, I know people see those clams come in and they may be thinking, oh, that's unnecessary. You just staggered yourself for a couple of clams. What's that going to do ya? But when you have such a massive lead with only a minute left in this game, it is at some point about playing that beanbag damage, about taking time off the clock. And each one of those clams is about 2 seconds off the clock. That now makes Salute's margin to push here that much smaller. It gives Smoothie less time to set up a perfect defense. They do lose Haya here, but that's 2 down on the side of Salute. It is just Kalana and Apple. They're trying to maintain control of mid, but they need a lot more than control of mid. They need picks and they need to break past that choke.
They really do, and they only have 25 seconds remaining to get those picks coming. Haya here trying to get some splats going, but only manages to trade between Prophet and themselves. Chase here with the inks to try Zuka, but that is a soft wipe from Salute. And now Smoothie is just gonna look to set up an absolute secure defense. As Salute they do have that pity clam at the ready, but they need to move it from the basket to the enemy basket in just a matter of seconds.
They have 10 seconds in order to be able to break in. That Booyah Bomb coming out. Kalana has to get booking it if they want to be able to do this. Time is wearing down the clock. They are 2 down. Smoothie having 4 members up, getting a pick on that splash. Kalana backs into a corner, but time wears down before Smoothie would get that inevitable splat. GG's to both sides there, but Smoothie taking the dub, breaking the set 2-0.
Indeed. Salute really getting that very early lead into this set. Now they just need one more game before they take this tournament, but it's not going to be an easy thing to do, as we've seen from both these games. It's been very, well, particularly in Rainmaker Surgeon, it's been pretty close between these two teams, but Smoothie is definitely coming out with the early lead straight into this set.
I do think that Salute has a little bit of an advantage here on Hammerhead in particular, which has become rather infamous for how dominating snipers can be here. We haven't seen a traditional black line other than the range blaster there in the hands of Haya, which obviously they're not playing as a backline. And we do see Kalana there with that sniper on the side of Salute and in such a stationary mode, especially here on Hammerhead, which is so dominating for snipers. Smoothie is going to have to figure out how to dislocate Salute in order to be able to push in.
They definitely are. Hammerhead Bridge is, as was said earlier today by the commentators before us, is very much the Splatoon 3's version of I had it in my head, but then Walleye Warehouse. That's what it's got a very long map, and then you got a very clustered mid. And particularly with splat zones, they're all going to be focused on mid. So you're really trying to find that turf, and you do have those little bit of spits off the side to allow you to get that little bit of skirmishing going and get that extra turf to get towards your special. But it's really going to be who can lock out the players, because you don't need to push too forward in Hammerhead Bridge to lock out the opponent. So it's going to be who's going to be able to get that turf going, who's going to be able to create that perimeter around the zone.
It's like there's a lot to be said about Hammerhead. I kind of see it like Wahoo, honestly, in terms of like how large the map is, but how little of it is actually playable in a zones game. Because you're really only going for mid there, and I'll add for those sides, only the left one for each team is readily accessible out of spawn. So once you're locked out, if you're trying to break back into mid, you almost always have to go left if your opponents are pushed all the way up into your street. Once they're in your street, that's where your troubles begin, because there simply is no way to flank them. There's no way to push them out other than special pressure. Thankfully, the map is large. You're going to have an easier time collectively painting for a special, but it's also like Moray in that aspect, except flat.
I have to agree with that, Moray, but flat, very, 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 a lot more flat than Moray.
Proportionally, yeah.
All right, let's head into game 3 of this set. Salute versus Smoothie. Hammerhead zones. If Smoothie does take this game, they will be advancing to the... No, they won't be advancing.
No,
they'll be winning the grand finals.
It's very late for DJ. Please excuse. That being said, we do see a scrap here in mid, but Boopy, the first to pop Crab, going to be able to force the members of Salute back. That's very good, because Salute is going... The question for them is how do they break in? But Smoothie, once they're able to get into mid here and keep some paint down, that could be sitting pretty for them if they can manage to keep Kalana out.
It really can be, but they still haven't got enough dominant hold over pushing them away. We're seeing Prophet here double teaming against with their teammate, trying to find those players. They've locked them into that area as they both go down there. Boopy here, but also getting the splat, and now 2 players down on both sides. It's really going to be a fight to see who's going to have that dominant control over the field here, and they're looking to get that. Boopy gets that splat onto Chase, and here we go. Now they have that perimeter set up. Now they're trying to push out the members of Salute and just continue. 30 points remaining on their countdown.
This could be a rather quick KO. We do see Prophet popping that counter Crab, but Smoothie still maintaining the zone. We have a lot of specials burning. That Booyah comes out, that Killer Whale comes out. They lose Haya, but it's not like Haya is painting. Bala in that zone. Are they going to be able to keep enough paint down to maintain this? Salute coming in with the 1-point clutch, holding on to their hopes of winning SOS 88.
What a great stop there, and getting pretty much a wipeout there, as the last member who was left alive did jump out there, has allowed Salute to now create their own counter perimeter now. Haya there does get out. The Wavebreaker is going to try and locate some of those players, and now that zone is going to go back into neutral. Salute is just trying to come back, but Smoothie is just not having any of it, as that zone is just constantly dancing in pain between both teams. And there we go. Smoothie does retake it from Salute.
Yeah, and they have a substantial penalty to clear, but getting that pick on Prophet does force Salute into a bit of a stagger. That Booyah Bomb was popped, but will they be able to follow it up with the paint necessary for a cap? And the answer is no, as Salute goes another member down. Smoothie does have that Booyah this time around, ready to go for a last-minute skirmish in mid if Salute does manage to get that paint in there, but that Booyah Bomb being used preemptively to continuously lock out the members of Salute. Smoothie looking to end it right here, but only Bala left standing. Another cap for Salute. The game still goes on.
It just won't end. Salute know how to stop that Rainmaker and just keep the hype train going. That Smoothie is still stuck on 1 point. Now they still have 60 points penalty to clear, but Salute has now cleared their own penalty and starting to head back in. They do need to KO if they want to have a shot at winning this game and sending the scores to 2-1. But Smoothie is not having any of it, as 3 players do go down on the side of Salute.
And here we go, Smoothie trying to push back up. Will they be able to get further than they have before? 2 members of Salute coming out of spawn. Smoothie, honestly, the way Salute has been playing, I don't know if they'll be able to clear penalty here for the KO. The question is, can they lock Salute out long enough in order to be able to bleed the time off of the clock? 3 members of Salute going down, and this Prophet up on that left side in Crab. Blaster and the Crab can be a little bit wonky, so Haya going to have to fall back. But the Crab takes them out. 10 ticks left for Smoothie. It is about to be over. That Booyah Bomb coming out. That is GG's. Smoothie, your SOS 88 champions.
What a way to just say, hey, we want to win this game. We want to win this set. We want to win the tournament. And there we go. Smoothie just setting the field straight with the 3-0 knockout. And them taking sync swim or sink 88.
There we go. Both of these teams right here, right now, just having secured their best result in terms of SOS so far in Splatoon 3. Smoothie taking first place and Salute setting their own record, having beaten their third place of SOS 84 with the second place here tonight. So GG's to both of these teams. You played phenomenally, and I know we'll see you in another Grand Finals very soon.
Yeah, it was really great to see both of these two teams face off. Like, we've had such good sets throughout the entire day. We've had the two, like, it was literally 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. So what a great way it was to see these teams. And we got to see both teams actually leading up to these grand finals. We saw Salute in our first set, and then we saw Smoothie for the next two. Was it? No.
Yeah,
Smoothie
it
for the one before. Was it for two? Or was it for... No,
Yeah.
it's for... It was.
It was Rising Wave.
Yeah, because of
versus
course
Smoothie.
it was round 3, and then it was grand finals. So what I was thinking there was another match in between. I'm just going insane.
Time for bed. It is time for bed for you, DJ. What time is it there for you?
It's not late. It's 3:30 p.m.
Oh, it's not late.
It's not late. I'm just insane.
It's not late.
It's
Well,
not late at all.
It is 11:30 for me. I'm about to be hit by a hurricane, so I should probably go to bed. That being said, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight and watching Smoothie, Salute, and Rising Wave and Legato pop off for us, at least for me and DJ, as well as to everyone else who played tonight. DJ, where can the good people find you?
If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter or however direction that may be heading at DJM987. I also stream on my Twitch, which is DJM98. But Skep, regardless of me, where can they find you?
Oh my god. Hi, my name is Skepidillions, and you can find me at LTC next year, 2023, as well as on... Yeah, as well as on Twitter and Twitch at Skepidillions, as was seen on screen. It's a little bit hard to spell, so you might want to look at it. That being said, I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Get some rest. Stay safe out there in the storm. And we'll see you right back here next week. Stay fresh.